What's up, everybody? I got a beautiful panel of ladies for y'all tonight. We are live and welcome to the Purple Pill Podcast, episode 72, the number one show in the world for dating, started right here in Dallas, Texas. Please make sure to like the video on y'all's way in and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell on your way in so you can see every time we have a new show coming up. Follow us on the podcast Instagram as well, especially if you want to add all these beautiful ladies that we got on the panel because they're all tagged right now on my story, so y'all can go add their Instagrams, which please do that because they drove all the way out here and I want to give them something for doing that. We're now live to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube all at the same time. Go sign up for my mentorship down below by doing a free call. Just click the link that you see. It's for men and women now. If either one of y'all are open for mentorship, if you want to show support, you can do that by hitting the join button under the video and become a YouTube member, which comes with some emojis for the show. You can also super chat in any of your questions that you have for the ladies. Also, check out the merch store that's also linked, and we're now streaming on all the audio platforms as well, guys. Just keep your headphones in at work. Make sure to add the Instagram right now, though. Go add these ladies. I really, really want y'all to go do that. And anybody that needs media marketing help, if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, I'll do 3 clips and 3 shorts a day for you for only $500 a month, posted every day for you. If you're trying to grow your accounts or your podcast or anything, definitely hit me up and I will grow your shit for you so you don't have to worry about it. Shout out to my producers tonight. We got Mike and Julian in the house. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all for coming through and saving it. Donnie is out of town, guys. Shout out to him. But yeah, to go ahead and get started, ladies, we just want to know your name, your age, your education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status. A lot of y'all have already been on the show before, so I'm interested to see if your lives have changed. I got a good memory, so maybe I remember some stuff, and maybe I don't. But we'll start over here. Name, age, education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status. And move the mic closer to you if you can.
Alrighty. So my name is Kat, and I am 30 years old. I am a licensed insurance adjuster at the moment.
Talk closer.
And I am currently in college. I am studying IT, cybersecurity to be exact. And yeah.
And what was your relationship status, you said?
Oh, I am single.
Single like a Pringle?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What about you? Thank you for coming back. Name, age, education level, what you do for work, relationship status?
Yes, I'm happy to be back. My name is Samantha. What I do for work, I own a corporate housing company. I also have my bachelor's degree in exercise science, motorsports, and rehab. I recently graduated in May. And I am single, single.
Single like a Pringle also. You got a couple. That's
Yeah.
good. That's what the viewers like usually. What's your name, age, education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status? No, don't click that. Just click off to the side. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Ready, go ahead.
My name is Daisy. I just turned 22. You said my name, age. Sorry.
Name, age, education level, what you do for work, and relationship status.
Right now, currently, I work downtown with Greyhound, and I'm actually a personal trainer on the side also.
Okay.
Did I answer all your questions?
Relationship status.
Oh, I'm single.
Single. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What about you? Name, age. Yeah, you know.
I'm Haley. I'm 27. I'm currently just doing Uber, career break, and some college, but I didn't finish. I might go back, and I'm single.
Single. Okay, nice. I gotta ask, about the Uber stuff. Do you feel like it gets to a point of like a lot of loss because of the wear and tear on your car?
I rent it.
Okay. Okay, well that's smart then.
I would drive like 80 hours a week.
Yeah, then that's genius. Then if you do something like that, yeah, no, that's the one thing I've always wondered. It's like, damn, what if you just lose all your money and tires and the miles you put on the car, and all that shit. But yeah, if you did it right, you're smart, lease or something. But yeah, tonight, guys, we're gonna talk about why is it so hard to get married today? I mean, and just to start off at the very beginning with that, I just want to ask really quick to the ladies, who here even cares about getting married? Because we'll kind of change the subject up a little bit depending on that person. If you're not even wanting it, do you even want to get married today?
I am open to the possibility of getting married at this point, but it's not something that is like required for my life. I don't think. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it's like, yes, I want it, but if it doesn't happen, I don't care.
Yeah, it has to be the right circumstances. Like,
obviously, you don't want to. You're not going to marry some loser or something like
that,
right? Just because it's like, oh my god, I need the ring.
Right.
I'm going to take the 5'6" dude that's a loser. What about you though? Do you even want to get married?
I do. I want to get married. I mean, I'm not in a rush for it, but I definitely see like a happy family and kids. is
Yeah.
what I ideally want.
You have like a vision of what your future should be, and that's what you want it to be. Okay.
Mhm.
What about you? What do you even want marriage?
I want marriage, traditionally, of course. But when it comes to government or in the church, I would definitely do it in the church more than the government.
You'd rather like keep it away from the government because it's like
Private.
But like, why though? Like, is there a specific reason why? Did you see something in your past? Like, was there something that happened, or did you learn that from like a guy that told you, you know, that they wanted that? Like, what was the reason why you even have that point of view?
I think that this is very deep. I just don't want like.
You want the government in your business?
Yeah.
Is it that
Whereas
simple?
I feel like a marriage works more when it's traditionally and religiously, or when it's like just in the home. Whereas if you put it down on paper, it's a lot more harder to move around your life.
Yeah, because you're bringing somebody else into your like, because back in the day, like if you got married to the church, you're bringing the pastor into your relationship. Like they're basically going to be like your counselor kind of. But like if you bring the government into your relationship, you're basically bringing the judge in as y'all's counselor. And like whenever y'all break up, whatever, you basically have a judge from the government, from the state, that's saying this is what he needs to do, and this is what, you know, instead of like a pastor that's actually looking out for the both parties, you know, equally. But yeah, I definitely see like why you have that. I've just never heard that really on my panel before, so that's why I wanted to peel the layer back and ask why you even thought that way.
Can I mention that you said when you break up? That's part of why it's hard to find marriage, because people go into it expecting it to end at some point.
Well, see, some people marry just for the title.
Right.
You know?
And that's not, you know, I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But I mean, like when he referenced it, he said when you guys break up at some point. It was no like if you should happen to break up, or if something should happen and it doesn't work out. Yeah. It's when we break up. But when you're getting married to somebody, you're literally choosing them.
You should never like there should be no negative connotation of ever leaving, right?
Exactly. Like you should be choosing that person for life. That's what you're doing.
See, so like I really like that y'all brought that up. No, good, but we'll go back to that in just a second. But yeah, what do you think? Do you want to get married?
I'm not against it.
You're not against it. So if the right guy came along, like, you know, you would do it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but you're saying, you know, like people aren't like talking correctly, you know, like they're going into relationships being negative, starting it off with the mentality of it already probably going to end. I want to know, do y'all think that who's causing more of that? Like who has more of that negative mentality that's like making it to where we don't think it's going to last, the men or the women, you think?
I think that it's become kind of equal, but it was because initially men started doing the whole she's going to take half if she leaves thing. And it created like a whole negative connotation over even having a wife. Like a wife is now
because now she's going to finesse you or something.
Burden. Yeah. They view a wife more as a burden than like a blessing these days.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to see, like especially online and stuff like that. I know a lot of it's, you know,
fake.
Yeah.
But it's cool seeing it that way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
A comment on that as well, though, because, you know, sometimes it is in the circumstance of the guy being like, oh, I don't want it to be 50-50, but what about if the female's doing super good too, like, and she's, you know, and you're gonna, if anything, it could be vice versa. What about if the woman's making like much more money?
I have seen a couple women, which 50%. City boys up, where where like they got divorced recently and the guy ended up getting alimony and stuff, and it's like, I can't believe it, you know, it happened. But like, yeah, no, it doesn't happen that often though. You're right.
No, for sure.
It's just super, yeah, dude. It's just super rare though. But when it does happen, it's like, yeah, we got our lick back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like riding for those dudes when they fucking get it. Wait, what was I asking though? I had asked you, what like who is it more, the men or the women though? Who do you think is like making it or has that negative connotation the most to like not like want to be in it, or they're like thinking it's gonna end? Who do you think it is more?
Well, in that point of view, I would say a man, just because since, you know, ideally a man should be making more than the female in so cases. So I mean, if anything, they would. You think the guy first.
Yeah. Who do you think is more likely to have that negative connotation towards marriage?
I wouldn't. It's
you speak in general, not about yourself, you know, just what you see.
It's a 50-50 for me, because let's say a man can be ready, whereas a woman is not ready. A woman can be ready, but a man is not ready. You know,
and woman's usually ready earlier, right?
Yes.
I would say most women
Mhm.
are probably ready for marriage earlier than I think that. I mean, unless she's super brainwashed and wants to own a business or something by 30, you know. But who do you think has most of the negative connotations towards marriage?
Just like from my peer circle, probably women.
Really?
Yeah, everybody I know is like a go-getter, and I don't.
It just depends how much they're in that lifestyle of wanting to be the go-getter and wanting to have their own stuff, probably.
And not
But I,
wanting
but if
love.
but if she's like 20 to 25 and she's in that phase of I'm trying to find a husband, like I'm trying to find like a man, then she's gonna have a whole different mentality. It just really depends, like which mentality you're on. Which I think that's like a privilege. Like most women have to get into the workforce and have to start focusing on taking care of themselves, unless like your parents are taking care of you or something like that. Like
Right.
you have to be like in a privileged state to kind of get locked in like that early on. I feel like it's a privilege.
I think with that though, it comes with disadvantages also because then let's say you do get married at an age, right? Whereas let's say you get married early, right?
Mhm.
Um Now when it comes to like you only know what you grew up around. You only know what you grew up around or what your husband teaches you. You can't really like teach yourself, you know what I mean?
You think that she needs to learn more like through other experiences for her to be a better wife, kind of like like with age. I'm gonna go back to that in just a second. I want to bring up like the negative connotation thing. Like remember that for just a second because I want to make sure I don't forget that. But I want to bring up the negative connotation thing really quick. I would say, ladies, and a lot of people on the internet are probably gonna hate me for saying this, honestly, but I'm just being honest. The guys definitely have a bigger negative connotation, and the reason why though is because, like y'all were saying, like we're scared of losing a lot of our money, and y'all gotta understand in our like we have two different dating strategies. We have two different short-term strategies and we have two different long-term strategies. Y'all's long-term strategy is get as many resources as you can so then like he's a good person to have a child with and he's not going to run off and give resources elsewhere. So sometimes women resource extract very hard. I want to go on 10 dates before I have sex with the guy. That's resource extraction for as much as you can, because if he goes on 10 dates and never fucks you, that's a guy that's really down for you. He might actually really be in fucking love with you if he's willing to take you on 10 dates without ever getting no pussy. He's probably a big simp though. That's why I'm saying we have two opposite dating strategies. The guy who like my long-term strategy is not the same. I'm not sitting there thinking about getting married because as soon as I get married and I give the ring up, I lose leverage. What if I have all the leverage in the relationship and I'm able to do whatever I want? I'm able to like have a lot of power and influence and like have a lot of control. A guy loses all of it when you give the ring because then she has the power to leave you. She has the power to divorce you and take half your shit. She has the power to take the kids away from you if you have kids or something like that. So a guy who has leverage and he loves having leverage, he's never going to give a fucking ring because he wants to always have the power in the relationship. And I would argue a lot of guys today, especially today, they're not going to do the marriage thing because you can have kids without getting married. There's a lot of women that will be so down for you, they will have your babies without the fucking ring. And some of them even have your mentality where like I don't want the government in my relationships or anything like that. And those women are especially more likely to not give a fuck about the marriage. Like they just want to have a good person, like an actual successful guy. I've seen you've been like cringing the whole time. So what's up? Yeah, go ahead. Say how you feel. You're probably like the only person here that's never seen my show before, so you're
No,
definitely
I
gonna be
haven't.
surprised all night.
You were talking about how some women do it just for the dates.
Yeah, some. Yeah, not all.
I think those are women who are not in tune with themselves. When they know what they want, then they go for it. Whereas those women who aren't really know what they want, they're kind of just wasting somebody else's time and trying to get whatever. Whereas a woman who knows what they want, they won't go on a lot of dates because they already know what's up. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, I would say no woman knows what she wants. Like honestly, not one. Like y'all think you know what you want, but you don't know what you want. And the second y'all get what you think you want, you realize that's not what you really wanted. Y'all actually need a guy to tell you what you need. Women actually really do need a good man, a man that's actually a leader and really a man to tell you what you need. Because if y'all chase what you want all the time, you just end up with a bunch of simps and losers and beta cucks and shit. Like you end up with guys that you actually never really wanted.
Yeah.
And so like, but that happens all the time. Like I agree with you. And like, but I would say like those girls, it's not that they're like chasing what or they don't know what they want. Those girls are honestly, they're just traumatized and they're damaged. Like if you sleep around, if you do certain things, you're gonna be so damaged and then going through life like thinking that this is what you want and all this stuff. But in reality, like you're just damaged and you're just traumatized and you're just trying to, go through the motions to figure out like you're trying to learn life, but what you don't understand is like all those things that you do is just making it harder for you to connect with somebody in the future. And we've all known this since we were fucking babies. Like a child has to have at least 4 or 5 people around them for them to grow up successfully. Like it requires a tribe. Even whenever a child comes out of the womb, it instantly requires a connection with a person, with a human. And when we turn 20 and 30 and stuff, that shit isn't gone, guys. We still require connections with codependency is not a bad thing. This is something for thousands of years that we needed to be able to survive in nature. And we sit here and we hurt and we talk shit on people who are codependent or want relationships and stuff like that, or like to have connections with others. And it's like, no, this is naturally what we want for a good reason. That's what makes us better people. That's what makes it to where you're able to give more. And all this like separation, it's all trauma. Y'all want to know why the world is more separated and individual more now than ever? We're more traumatized more now than ever. That's all it is. There's more trauma. There's pornography everywhere. So all the guys are screwed up by that. And then we have social media to give all this attention and validation to where women's heads are screwed up and they think they have all these options or all these things and they're not real. It's just a fallacy. It's just, fake.
I think, can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
I think I should say be more specific when I mean by know what they want, as like, for instance, if let's say the man is a business person, he's gonna need an assistant, someone who's organizing, because he's not gonna have time for all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
no, that's right.
That's what I mean by knowing what they want. Not exactly about trauma, but like
they don't know what the man wants. Was what you were saying? They don't know what the men want, or are you saying that they don't know what they personally want? The girls.
Both, because someone can lack a certain trait, whereas a woman can pick up.
Yeah.
A man.
No, it's complementary.
Yeah.
Like, and this is my biggest argument on the show is that you just got to be complimentary. Like, I would argue there's a lot of girls that sleep with guys and the guys like them, but they only fuck them, and then they're like, why isn't he doing anything? Like, why isn't he like being just with me? It's like, you only had sex with him. There's 4 other girls that did the same thing. Like, what makes you special? Like, you have to be complimentary to his life, assistant or something, and like, but how often it goes back to, like the want thing. Like, y'all don't know what you want. You want a guy, you need a guy to tell you what you need. So like when y'all find a guy and you're like, oh, what does he want? I'll do whatever he wants. And then he's going to tell me what I need now. Like, oh, he wants an assistant. He wants help with this. He wants help with his laundry. He wants help with his food or whatever it is. Okay, he wants those things. Now he's going to help me with my needs, because when you feed him, when you do those things, he's like, okay, she's a good woman. I'm going to help her with what she really needs. She really needs a home. She really needs kids. She really needs these things. And he's going to help you with the things that you really need. Honestly, I don't think y'all know what you need sometimes. You need a good man to tell you what you need.
Yes, I agree. Also, it just depends, like, because, some women are just grow up around women. Other women grow up around men. So whereas, like,
yeah, well, I mean, it's a bad thing. Like, if you grow up, I mean, it's bad for even guys too. Like, if I grew up in a household with the only mother, it's got to make it to where I accept all types of horrible things in relationships, because I think I put women on a pedestal. I think that they're always perfect and stuff. You know those guys that like sit there and simp for their girl and they always end up getting cheated on and stuff. And it's because their whole life they put women on their pedestal because they were raised by a single mother.
That can go one of 2 ways.
Yeah.
That can be that's one extreme, and then there's the men who grow up to literally hate women because they don't really like their mom.
Oh yeah, well if she's a bad mom, it just depends how bad she is. But like if she was a good mom, he's gonna pedestalize her and he'll pedestalize women for the rest of their life. But if she's horrible, you're right. Yeah. If she's a single mother, oh yeah, he'll become a misogynist for sure. Just like how also women become misogynists if they never have a father in their life. They sit there, they've never had a good man that was like, told them things or like ever was an authority figure over them. And the second they get in a relationship for the first time and the man wants to be an authority, they're like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it is. It's just more so unfamiliar.
Yeah,
not so much that we're not open to it. Because I didn't have a father figure. And I do find it sometimes a little hard to kind of like accept that. Really, it's more so like that fatherly thing that some guys do, when it's like, it's all about the delivery, in my opinion. And when you say that we need men to tell us what we need, I think it's more so, as I've gotten older, I've realized it's more so we need men to show us what we need, because a man will tell you anything.
Yeah. You're 100%.
Right.
100%. 1,000% show. Yeah.
When you actually are shown by a man what you need, that shit is imprinted in your brain from that point on. Whether you work out with that man or not, this is something now that is I know is a need in a relationship, and that's, I think, why it is necessary to date more than once. With and you can take me on 10 dates, absolutely, before I give you anything, because it doesn't have to be a $500 dinner every time. It's just, this is our period of getting to know one another, for me to know whether you're even worth me really surrendering myself to you, because that's, as a woman, that's what we're doing. And like you said, it's a complementary kind of thing. We do have to lay down to be in a relationship with a man and allow him to take the reins. And I do have to date you for a considerable amount of time before I know, because people can say, like I said, they say anything, they show you anything off top.
Oh yeah, guys lie.
Yeah, you have to. You do need to be vetted into this vagina. Absolutely.
I gotta ask though, really quick. I gotta ask, you know, you don't have to be. I mean, this is a live show, so I know it's gonna be hard to be completely honest about some of these questions. But like, if you can, like, has every guy had to wait? Like, have you made every guy that you've had sex with do that same thing?
Uh, no, but it's never been like a first day meeting kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe after a couple of times of meeting, but
Like-
it's never been. I've never done like a one night stand
Okay.
with somebody I just met or
Yeah, me
something.
neither.
Yeah, well, so like the argument would be, or like for what some guys would feel. I'm just giving you the guy's point of view here, so don't shoot the messenger. And like I
Alright,
can
is that what you're gonna
also,
say?
yeah, well, it's also like Dr. David Buss talks about this in his book, you know, The Evolution of Desire, where like he does a lot of studies on like what women are attracted to, like short term mating, long term mating, and all those type of things. And like the thing is, you have more burning, genuine desire sometimes for the guy that you let hit earlier, because whether he looked good, the vibe was there,
Mhm.
whatever it was, like he was special. So you were willing to give up that thing that you were taught your whole life to protect because there's something special about this guy. I don't know if it's the vibe, his look, whatever it is about him, you know.
Mhm.
You're willing to drop him for this guy because he's special, you know. So the guys that wait though, whenever you, it's like say like you've done that 5-10 times, okay, where like the short thing, the guys that you make wait later on, you're setting yourself up for failure, because those guys you're never going to care about like how you cared about like the other. You're never going to have that same burning genuine desire. The thing is, y'all break rules for or alphas, and you make rules for betas. If a guy's an alpha, you break rules all day long for them. If he's a beta though, you're like, you're going to wait 10 dates, you're going to do, nope, you don't get this. So it's like, and the thing is, like, that's great, don't get me wrong. I know women's long-term strategy is best when you date that way. It is absolutely best. You will find the perfect simp to take care of you and your kids for the 20 years. The problem is though, and this is the huge problem in dating, is especially if women have slept around, like say they get to a 5 to 10 body count or something like that, and you've experienced certain things, you're, say 5 years into marriage, you're like, I'm bored of this fucking loser. Like, he's literally a fucking loser. Like, yeah, he's great for provisioning and he's a great father and stuff, but he's a fucking loser. I want to fucking get that dick like I got 5 years ago, that from that other dude, from the guy in Cancun. Like, there's like things that like you can't go back. And this is why women like getting experience, like you were saying, I think it's better to get experience. It's actually not. Experience and experience ruins women and it builds men. Trauma destroys women and it builds men. A guy that's gone through hell, came out of the trenches, has scars, we love those people. They're the most propped up by society. Look around. But women that have gone through a bunch of hell, we don't respect it. I'll explain to you really quick why. Because a woman that has gone through trauma, it comes out through her children. If I decide to marry and have children with a woman who went through trauma, whether it's relationship trauma, family trauma, whatever type of trauma that she went through in her life, that directly goes into your children. So that's why men really give a fuck about experience and all those type of things. That's why men are always, the richest guys are always going to be dating down for that reason.
Okay, I think that the role of a man in a child's development is extremely underplayed, first and foremost, just because, and
1000%,
I
yeah.
mean literally from the womb. A man, his semen is what helps make the placenta, which is what feeds the baby for the entire time that they're in utero, is what they would
I
call
didn't
it.
know he made the placenta with his sperm. That's crazy.
Yes, he does. So there's a lot more of the man in that process as well than what is known a lot of the times. But I think that it also when with what you were saying, just because that man is put on a pedestal because he's gone through what he's gone through and he's got all these scars and he's made it through, and that same woman could have gone through those same things and she's looked at as like down bad basically because she had to go through those things. It doesn't make the man any less fucked up, especially mentally. They can look real cool because they went through all this stuff.
I'm saying
But
what
they're still
society
holding that
values as.
trauma.
I'm just saying how society values people. I'm not saying how we want to view ourselves, because obviously a woman who's 40 and gone through a lot of shit, she's gonna say, I'm still, in the eyes of God, that woman is still valued. Okay, she is still she is still valuable. But all I'm saying is that a 40-year-old guy who went through the same fucking shit, if he did all that and he's still a millionaire, he's still killing it. If she went through all that and she's a millionaire, the guys, she's still gonna have trouble dating. She's still gonna have trouble getting a guy to want to have her kids. Whereas like a guy who's a millionaire who went through all that shit and he's like perfect, he's getting better at everything. He's constantly getting better. Those are the guys that run everything in society.
That's because women will accept anything.
No, it's because trauma. I'm telling you, trauma is a good thing for men. If we look around, like, y'all really got to understand that trauma for men is good, because that's how I learned. See, what you got to understand is, like, for everything in life, I failed at a lot of things. I failed at multiple businesses before I ever had my first successful one. The men, like, that is literally the path to greatness, is stumbling uphill. It is tumbling all the way up the hill. And so for a guy, because you gotta understand, our value is different. Okay, women get y'all's value up front. Okay, at 18 years old, y'all are trust fund babies. Okay, because your beauty gives you so much power at a young age that men don't get until 30, 35. Once we build our $1 million, we are self-made millionaires. And so, like, we're not the same. We're all, a lot of this talk sometimes goes back to thinking a blank slate, that like men and women are the same, and you just always got to remember we're actually quite opposites in almost everything. What we're attracted to, what we want in each other, like just everything. We're absolute opposites, and like that's what makes everything so complicated, is because we love to project what we want or like what we think, and then we realize, oh, that's the opposite, or the other sex is the opposite of me.
I think that there's a difference between going through trauma and being resilient through adversity, because learning how to hear a no and take it, and that's ego 100%. You have to learn how to take no's. And I think that what you're describing is kind of toxic, as a lot of men don't know how to take no, and they take that as trauma, because it does hurt y'all when y'all fail. Everybody's gonna fail though. So it's like we all do go through that one thing. We're all gonna hear no. We're all gonna have those failures. But I think that those no's and those failures aren't necessarily trauma. That's like,
Men
of
have
course,
the
life
biggest
is.
burden of performance, though.
Of course, I can definitely agree with that. Y'all are expected to perform at 100% at all times because y'all don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Period.
Also, too,
Y'all just don't.
Yeah.
It comes in play of, like, if you know what your trauma is, you know what your trauma is, and you like are still acting upon it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
It's
like
called not growing.
another thing. So like guys, like I'm not gonna sit here and say all men, but guys are really forced to take accountability. Okay, so say like we actually do have trauma because we were beaten at 7 years old or 8 years old or something like that. Because of how a man's life works, like if I want to play sad or depressed at 20 years old, like who the fuck is going to care? Nobody cares. Okay, nobody gives a fuck about men. That's why our suicide rates are 9 times that of women's after a marriage. Okay, 9 times. The guy is 9 times more likely. We really don't. We are the disposable sex. We are meant to just be thrown away sometimes, and that's it. And honestly, that's just how the shit's set up, and that's okay, kind of. But at the same time, like, you got to understand, since we're forced to take accountability to make our lives better, sometimes y'all don't have to take accountability. That's why the world is so messed up today, is because a lot of women don't take accountability at all for like how fucked up they are. Like, they sit there and they think they're the shit whenever they're really not. I'm forced to. Okay, if I was the 30-year-old that was fat living in my mom's basement, accountability slaps me in the face every fucking day. If a woman is 30 years old and fat and living in her mom's basement, she can still go get some dick from Tyrone. It's not the same.
Not Tyrone.
Yeah, I mean, I can also
Why
say
had to be
Edgar.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
about to
she's
say,
no, she went to Edgar that time.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that, like, this is a man's world. I think that y'all are a lot less disposable than
We
than
go to
you're
war
saying.
for a reason, though.
Yeah, no, we are disposable. Like if you look at World War I and World War II, like there
that's
was
all-
countries where almost all the men got wiped out, and there was only
But that's all this. That's all. That's the culture. That's toxic masculinity. Y'all are supposed to be the soldiers. Y'all are supposed to be going out to war for whatever reason.
What is toxic
Y'all have to
masculinity,
be.
really quick? What is that?
I think it's just basically it is basically just the idea that men are not allowed to display whatever the characteristic may be, due to society's view that men should not be emotional or show their vulnerabilities.
That's toxic masculinity. What do you think it is?
I mean, when it comes to what she just explained, when it, like being vulnerable, I also think what's that word we were just talking about? Like their ego.
Mm-hmm.
Like ego is really big too.
That's toxic masculinity. What do you think it is?
Mhm.
I was trying to sit here and think about it still.
Mhm.
um, toxic masculinity. Um, I would say I would kind of agree with Kat. Um, about it's okay to show emotions and vulnerability.
Trying to touch it too much.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to think. Ego. You know,
Yeah,
ego.
but just what they
Ego.
said basically.
Ego plays a good role in some parts,
Yeah.
but pride. Mm-mm.
Okay. What do you think toxic masculinity is?
I feel like there's both. Like there's like points in my life where I can be like nothing could be worse. So like as far as like toxic masculinity, I think it does kind of come back to accountability. Like a lot of the time, men and women are very different, and from my experience, men think that they're not being heard when they are. It just they're not getting a response. Um, but I've also seen toxic femininity, and it's just as bad,
Yeah.
if not worse.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that actually
Uh-huh.
right after like toxic
agree.
femininity, like how y'all see that, like if like which one is worse, toxic femininity or toxic masculinity?
Um, it's equal to me. I mean,
Equal?
if
Do you think it's
someone has
equal?
toxic traits, they're just gonna have toxic
Yeah,
traits.
you think it's equal?
I think it depends on the person.
Mhm.
I could like grit
Yeah.
my teeth.
Huh?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you too. But honestly, I've just seen it more in my point of view in females. To be honest.
I think it. I think it definitely depends on the person as well. I think that I've met very toxic thinking women as well as very toxic thinking men, and but I do think that they're both equally detrimental to, if we go back to our original
Yeah, it's
point, the
like they're
dating
gonna fuck
pool.
everything up.
Yeah.
So like, I really don't think there is toxic masculinity at all, and I'll explain to y'all why really quick. Because what did y'all say? Y'all said ego, and then the other thing was emotions and stuff like that.
No, literally,
Like not being vulnerable.
it
correct?
was just the idea that is pushed on men that they can't be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
That's what
I'll
toxic
give you a good. I'll
masculinity
give. Well, here's the thing though. Masculinity isn't toxic when it's running into a burning building and saving somebody, okay? So like we like to pick and choose like what's toxic masculinity sometimes when masculinity in general is a very good thing. It's just all very good. And then the reason why we call what y'all thought was toxic is because of a lack of knowledge and understanding of men and how men and women are different, okay? Because like you brought up, the vulnerability and stuff. Men and women are not the same. And I know why you say that because women really do love to talk about your issues. Y'all are social creatures. You are way more socially calibrated than a guy. Y'all's brains are so wired to be so social compared to us. We are in love with, like, when we're born, even as children, men want to play with things and women want to play with people. Like we're two completely different things, and there's a good reason for that. Like there's because women were amazing at taking care of families and keeping structure of a household and keeping communities together, and men are amazing at going and building shit and fucking hunting or whatever the fuck we're supposed to go do. For hundreds of thousands of years, we had to have these type of traits to like make us better at those things. So when we sit here and tell guys you need to be vulnerable, you need to be all these things, we emote differently. Okay, so you may emote well by talking about, and I'm saying this all as a guy with BPD. Okay, I have gone to therapy for years because I had my own emotional. I'm an emotional guy. I'm one of the few guys that is emotional that needs to go get doctor's help. But for most men out here, they just need to go to the fucking gym. They need to get a hobby because when you work out, you're releasing endorphins from your muscles. When you work out, when you're doing a hobby, when you're competing at something, you're releasing things that are going to solve all your depression and all your anxiety or all the things that make you sad. Like we just emote differently, and like I totally understand why you think that though, because you think, oh, he's so cold, he's not talking, he's not doing anything. But we are supposed to be stoic because an emotional man is a dangerous man. I would tell all of y'all actually to never be in a relationship with a guy that is emotional at all. If they have BPD, if they have anything like that, I would say highly suggest to never even give them a chance because it is extremely dangerous. You want to know what happens when a guy's emotional? School shootings. You want to know what happens when a man is emotional? A woman gets beat. Okay,
That's what
there's
happens
a lot
when
of
they're mentally unstable.
No. It's
You
when
can
they're
be
emotional.
emotional
No. You got to
and
understand.
mentally
No,
stable.
no, you cannot. And you know why there's so many men that are emotional? It's because they had mothers sitting there and holding them crying when they're 13 years old and saying, "Yes, baby, cry. It's okay." And that's not okay. I'm telling you this as somebody that had this, okay? And I'm still an adult and I'm still emotional from this, okay? I'm telling you from experience, you don't want to be with guys who are emotional. We are supposed to be the stoic rock on the side of the ocean for the woman's emotional waves to crash over. Because the thing is, y'all are always going to shit test. Y'all, women are naturally, you're hardwired. It's subliminal too. You don't do this on purpose. You will have a great day or whatever it is, but you're going to shit test your man at some point, ask for something, do something, and it's going to test his ability of his emotions with you, or you're going to be flustered or mad about something. And if he stays calm while you're getting mad, that's his true mark of a man. And not getting affected, letting your emotional waves crash over him. He should never, you getting emotional should never budge him into being emotional. And the problem is, an emotional man, if he's with a girl and she does her normal feminine thing, because women are always going to do this at some point, and he falls to that, that's how bad shit happens. That's how beatings happen. That's how really like horrible toxic relationships happen.
When I say being emotional, I don't mean like being reactive. I mean just being in tune with your emotions.
You gotta understand, most guys
and understanding yourself well enough to not be reactive.
Look. I cry to movies all the time. Okay, like I'm able to let my emotions out all the time. Like I'm that type of guy where I will let it out. Like my girl understands that I can cry. She's not gonna say anything. But a guy has to be able to earn it. Okay, because you might be that girl that's like, I would never leave my man if he had a moment of vulnerability and cried in front of me. But there are some women out here that the second they see that, they do see their man as less. Now, like I said, you might be an exception to that rule. If it's 50-50, you might be on the 50% side that doesn't do that. But since it's a coin toss for the guy, he should never fucking do it. Especially especially if he's average. But I would say if you're an above average guy, you can earn it. There is definitely men that make so much money or they're so successful, whatever it is, they earn the right. They earn the right to be emotional because they fucking went through so much shit or whatever it is, and maybe he handles it so well. And she's like, you know what? He's Atlas. He carries the world on his shoulders. I'm not. He's crying to this nice movie right here. I'm never gonna think anything negative about him.
Emotional intelligence.
I think
speak it, and like if you're not ready to speak about your emotions, you know you're gonna be angry, and you know how you act when you're angry. Don't speak when you're angry. Speak when you're ready.
Yeah. No, but it's just hard to. I just really don't want women to pressure men into being emotional because sometimes it ends up backfiring. And this happens a lot today though. Like there's a lot of guys that are watching this show and they're like, "Oh, a woman who's saying I can be vulnerable. What if he goes home and he's vulnerable to his girl and she's not like you? She's that girl that's going to see him differently, you know?" And like that's what's sad about it. And like
I think that comes with the security that you provide your woman also though.
Yeah, that's why I said you got to earn it.
She doesn't feel like she can express her feelings to you and cry in front of you. How dare you cry in front of me, man?
Well, it's like an earn it. It's an earn it thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to give enough of money, energy, attention, and time to your woman for her to want to like do something like that.
It's more of like an emotional security thing. If I know that I can be 100% vulnerable with you without judgment, regardless of, anything else, then I can also allow you to do that with me. You know what I'm saying? If it's like I'm not safe with you, then you might not be safe with that woman. But if she feels safe with you, if she wants to be your safe space, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So that's what we do crave. That we definitely want men to be open. I mean, there are some people who are not as emotional.
Yeah, because there's nothing cooler than like the big, strong, like guy who holds the world on his shoulders, being vulnerable for a moment, and you're the only one who gets that.
Exactly, but you also know that as a man, we know as women, we know y'all need that release. We know y'all need that.
Yeah, but I do want you to understand though, like, but we do emote differently. Like you gotta understand, we emote different. Like I understand, like all of our psychology system, like literally all of it, like the way when you go to college, like the amount of professors that are women, just the way the programs are all set up. Like when you go to the doctor, who created everything, it's all based and made around women. And the reason why is because there's a lot of women that want to go to therapy. Like the whole system. I think it's like 90 or 95% of like teachers or people in psychology today are women now, and especially over the last 5 years. So it's like everything is being built perfectly for y'all. And I agree, if you've gone through some shit, you do need to go talk to a counselor every day or like whatever for an hour or whatever it is, and that's way better for y'all. But I don't think every guy sometimes our solution is a physical solution. Sometimes y'all's solution is an emotional solution, which means releasing and talking about something. But sometimes our solution, like I'm depressed because I don't have enough money, or I can't pay a bill, or I'm trying to create a business and I can't figure this out. It's things that your homies or like you should be able to go to men in your circle to fix that. And if you don't have men in your circle, you have to find them, because like a woman sometimes isn't gonna be able to fix it, or crying about it to a counselor.
I think that therapy is equally as important for me.
I have a question.
There's a lot of stuff that you can get out of talking to someone that doesn't have a stake in the game. Like I said,
I went to therapy, so like I know, but like I'm telling you though, I get
And
men
sometimes,
men
yeah,
are
you do
so
just
open,
need to.
but men are so open and sometimes aware. Like, because the thing is, like, whenever I went, my doctor couldn't understand how hyper self aware I was, and he was like, "This is crazy because most people who have your sickness or anything, like, they're not self aware. They like all these different things." And he was like, it's men don't usually come because they already know these things about themselves, whereas the women, they lie to themselves over and over and over again, and you have to go to a therapist to tell them, and they're like, "Yo, you're actually kind of crazy. Like, what you just said is stupid." Like, and then they're like, "Oh, damn, she's right." And whereas, like,
A
guys,
therapist will
we're
never say
actually,
that
like
to
I
you.
said, we're very, I know, but we're I'm telling you, reality slaps men across the face daily. We have to be accountable. That's why I'm so self-aware, is because there's not a second in my life where I got to get away with being unaccountable. You know how many relationships ended and I instantly had to figure out, oh, what did I do wrong? What did it? You think any of my exes that were crazy gave a fuck and ever tried to check themselves and think, oh, what did I do wrong? No. When women leave relationships, they very rarely like, oh, what did I do wrong, and taking accountability. No, it's usually the guys that are like, oh, I must have fucked it up, even though she cheated on me. What did I do wrong? Like we, and like, I honestly have that, like, I can't think of what the book is, but I believe in hyper self accountability. Like, even if it's not my fucking fault, I'm gonna say it's my fault, because that's how you learn to solve every problem in the fucking world. Yeah, like, I truly believe that you should always take accountability for things, even when they're not your fault. Even
Women emote through crying, men emote through anger primarily.
yes, yeah, women fake cry. Go to that $10 from B and Cheeks. Well, women only cries when she wants attention. $10 from V Cheeks makes men masculine again, make women feminine again. Yeah, I want to ask really quick,
Yes.
ladies, because you also brought up the ego thing. Who do y'all think earn, or no? I'll just ask really quick. Did women earn their ego?
Last time I said it's built.
It's
Yeah.
built.
I'll still go with that.
Yeah. What do you think? Do
What
women
was it?
earn their ego? Do y'all build it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's built.
It's both. A little mixture.
Yeah, it has to be developed over time.
Has to
It
be
definitely
developed?
has to be developed.
So y'all are trying to tell me that there's not some girls that are 19, 20 years old shaking their ass on TikTok right now, and they don't have the ego the size of Mars just because they're 18, 19, hot girl with their ass out.
And it's developed over time.
No.
I guarantee you she's not always
she's
been
a self-made-
secure in herself.
No, she's a trust fund baby, bro. I'm telling you, you can be 20 years old as a girl and think you are hot shit. You can literally think that you are. I
As you should.
started this show because I have a bunch of friends that are nothing but girls. I'm friends with nothing but women. Like, before I started the show, like, these guys that are running my stuff, they're like some of my first homies that are actually guys. I had nothing but female friends, so I know what access they have. Shit, some of the shit I got to experience from 18 and 22 was because I was hanging out with a bunch of girls that were getting all types of experience. Like, some of the shit I got to see and go do, most guys never get to experience that age because I was friends with a bunch of them. So trust me, there is definitely an ego problem with women 18 to 22 when they have all that value up front, because you can do whatever the fuck you want with it if you so choose. Obviously, not every girl is exercising those options, but just having the mentality of, I can go do this, I could go to Miami and get on a boat right now. That ego is a thing. Like, that gives you an ego, even though you're not doing it. You can still have an
Abundance
ego.
versus scarcity.
Well,
Yeah, it's abundance versus scarcity.
I think girls like that are, I don't know, some might like it, some might not. But what I'm about to say is, girls who are doing that are those girls who
They don't know what they
a
want.
1% man, meaning they want a millionaire person. That's those girls doing that.
Sometimes they're just living their life. Some of them, they're not even looking for the 1% man. Like, they're literally like, I'm 20 years old. I'm gonna go have fun in Miami.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
I
I'm not
say
getting married
live it
next
the
year.
fuck
Like,
up.
why not go
Live it
have
what?
fun? Like, a lot of these girls are just having regular experiences. It's not like they're going to fuck these guys. Like, sometimes you can get on the boat without fucking anybody. Like, what do you mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm saying.
I say live it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do what you do, boo. Like, at that age, yeah, it is a big thing because you gotta
Some can-
understand, growing up as a girl, you're like locked in the house majority. You don't get to
Do you-
just go out
Some
and
get
run the
accustomed to
streets
it,
most
though.
of the time.
But do you, but yeah, do you,
Most of the time.
but do you
Yes,
think you
true.
will be able to, in 10 years, settle for a normal guy if you experience stuff like that?
But like
Yeah.
she said, majority
Yeah?
of the time,
You think
women who
Some.
experience those things early on aren't going to settle for a bullshit guy. They're just not going to do it.
So
That's
they're going
that's
to
gonna
get
be a part
older.
of
So
their
they're going to get,
lifestyle.
hold on. So they're going to get older, which is going to make it harder for them to still achieve the better guys, because better guys date down. Men don't date up. Men don't date women. Like, don't date up. And women are the ones that like to date guys that are older. Okay.
Whereas
So So if you think about it, you want to go do something like that, you're just screwing yourself up because you think she's having fun until she's 30 and then she's going to have this lifestyle where she's going to be able to still achieve to get a guy like that. No, she's going to because the guy who has the yacht then is going to be fucking with the 22-year-olds.
Well, from my experience, the ones that are really out there like that at that young age end up marrying an older, more wealthy guy.
Yeah, but
and they usually get married pretty young.
Yeah, and that's
and
smart.
They
If
are
they did
literally
it right.
set up
That's
for
true.
life.
Well, yeah. Well, that's smart if they do it early.
If you're doing
Exactly
it
what I
like
was gonna
that,
say.
awesome. But a lot of the girls that you're mentioning do that. They literally
some of
they're
them do.
out there on those yachts searching for who's about to set them up for life.
But would you say that like a lot of that actually happens though? Because I see a lot of girls that go chasing for that and then they never get that either. Like
you gotta be
they
lucky.
sit there, yeah. Because I mean, you could easily get spun by a dude like who has those type of things. Who has 6-7 girls. Like
I think it
doesn't
happens,
always work out.
but it doesn't
You won't be
always
the only
happen
one.
like that.
You could,
But there are the
You
ones
won't be
that
the
are
only
there
one.
for the experience, and then there's ones that are there that are actually looking for that long term thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I was one of those girls that was there for the experience, baby. I was just with my homegirl who knew that dude that was on the yacht turning up, and we were just there.
You're there for the vibe.
Like,
Can
that's
I?
it.
Yeah, no. So, but I wanted to bring up, like the ego thing. Like I'm telling y'all, ladies, y'all don't earn it. Like you get it up front and you get it for free. And even if you work hard for years, it's not the type of ego that a guy has after working for years. And a guy, he earns his ego at 18. He's unless he's captain of the football team or something. He's a fucking loser at 18. Okay, he's a nobody. He can't get pussy. He has no experience. He can't make money. He can't do nothing. Okay, but when he gets to 30, 35, and he's an egotistic dickhead that like is running game on all these hoes and doing whatever the fuck he wants, and you're like, oh, that egotistic fucktard, I can't believe you did that to me. And it's like, well, he earned it. Honestly, he may be an egotistic dick, but he really did fucking earn it.
And he's gonna earn being alone when he gets older.
Do you really think a guy who has those type of options is gonna end up alone though?
I do think that some people who are completely oblivious to how their actions make them look to other people in the dating scene, I do believe that some of them will end up.
Who do you think
alone.
actually ends up more alone? Single men or single women?
Well, there's more women in the world, so obviously there'll be more of us.
I love it when people bring that up. What's the percentage difference in the world of men and women?
I'm not gonna.
No, because
do any
I love asking
but
this
there's
because
apparently
usually
like 5
people think
women
that
to every one man or something.
I know.
Like
So
that.
this is like the third time I've heard somebody say that exact quote. You realize what you just said? You just said 1 woman for every 5 men, right?
No,
or
5 women.
5 women for every 1 man.
Yeah.
So that would mean that there's 20% women or men for 80% women, correct? So that's this is correct. I want to know what in TikToker, if somebody find me the TikToker, the YouTuber who said this 1 to 5 thing. Oh, there's no way you Googled it because Google would never tell you that. So that's why I need to find out who's
I don't
this.
search TikTok or YouTube for my facts.
Well,
so
that's definitely not on
somewhere
YouTube.
Google.
It's definitely not on Google
But
here.
if you
So
know
like, what
the
is
correction?
Yeah, no, I will
let
just
us
say
know.
I want to see if somebody else. I want to see what everybody else thinks. What do you think the percentage difference is in the world of men and women?
I really don't fucking
You have no
know.
idea?
Like, no idea.
Stupid.
Just a little.
I think it's a little bit higher.
What do you think it is? Like 30, 70 or like 40, 60?
I think it's like 10. Honestly, 10% men.
10% men and
Like,
90% women?
There's way more women than men, but I think it's more than.
So more than what she said.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I have no idea.
I gotta ask really quick because the math isn't mathing for me. How does this work? Like, how does the world get to a point where there's 10% women and 90%? And I know, and listen, I know why y'all think this because you're like, why is it so hard to find a man? It has to be because the population is fucked up. No, seriously. Like, how do you the math ain't the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. Just because think about it. If you have a baby, what's the chance? If you had a baby right now, what's the chance of it being a male or female? It's 50-50, okay?
Female. No, it would be a female for sure.
Why?
Because there's more females. Wait.
What?
When has science ever said that you're more likely to have a female if you get pregnant?
Are you telling me there's more men than women?
I'm not saying that it's one or the other. I'm telling y'all want to know what it is? It's 53 to 47. It's basically half and half.
No, you know what it is?
It is half and half, and you literally just said 10 to 90, bro. And then
Hey,
you don't be laughing either. You don't be laughing either.
That was extreme, but no,
I would say
that might not be
20
the
to
case
80?
anymore.
No, I would
however,
say-
It's never been that way in all of history, ladies. There's 7 billion people on the planet.
I'm
Are you
going off
kidding
of
me?
Something I saw online, but it wasn't TikTok or Twitter.
You know what,
or
though?
YouTube or
Less,
anything.
less men are having babies, though. That's the thing.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
I don't
Like,
know about
Men
that.
have always reproduced at a 40, like it's
I don't know
always
about
like
that.
right now it's always been right now it's at 40%. It's been historically like that for about 1,000 years. So no, like 40% of men always do reproduce.
Well, I guess I would speak
Marriage
for
or
African
no?
American.
But no, like
There's less
I just
African
guys,
American men.
are y'all just as dude? This is crazy to me. I can't
We
believe y'all
having-
just said this shit.
we
Like this
having
is
babies.
mind-boggling
That's
to me,
happening.
guys. Yeah, like I know they're gonna deny this, but I know why women believe this. They believe this because they're like, oh, that's why dating's so hard because there's so few men, and it's like no, there's a fuck ton of men, ladies. There's a fuck ton of men. Y'all just suck at finding them and choosing them. Seriously.
Well, we also live in one city, and we're talking about the entire world. So
you know how many people are in DFW? I think there's like 12 million people in the complex in the whole.
million
we're in
by
like the
8
top
million?
3
What?
least faithful cities in the world. Why would I look around?
So
here?
are we talking about like men with women?
I mean,
and
it's still a
women?
conservative state. It's gonna find better people here than most other states, honestly.
Oh no.
Are we talking about like women with?
Oh, go to a liberal
Men?
state and let me know how much you love the guys there.
Where?
Trust me, a liberal state, just any
Oh,
of them. Trust me, you're not gonna like the guys there. They're fucking losers. Like y'all like a guy that's actually like a cowboy who pulls his bootstraps up. I'm telling you, y'all like Texas. But what were you saying?
No, I was just asking you. Are we talking about men with women, women with men, or are we talking about women, women, men, with men? See,
What do
now
you
that's
mean?
different.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. What are you talking about?
Like men in general, like how you said something about that we can find a men, but some men are
Oh,
like men.
Oh, they're
like,
gay.
oh yeah. I mean, it's still a very small percentage.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
In the
It's
scheme
not
of
enough
things,
to-
that's
it's not enough
keeping
to-
you from
Yeah,
finding
yeah,
a man.
No, no.
Yeah.
If you think that it's hard for you to find a man, it's just because you're not good at picking, and then you also attract certain things. I always say on this show, like ever since about 10 years ago, since Facebook and all the social media stuff, y'all got to filter 10 million or 10,000 dudes, and I have to chase 10,000 girls. Who didn't turn their alarms off? Who did it? Oh, it was one of the guys.
Oh,
Nice.
I know. I was like, they didn't get
Sorry,
that.
I was
Wasn't me, wasn't me.
But what was I saying? I can't remember.
choosing a guy.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. So y'all are definitely just having a hard time just choosing on yourself, and like you have to like if I wanted to go and find a really good unicorn, like a badass girl, I'm gonna have to talk to 10,000 girls today because there's all these social media, there's all these apps and shit. There's so many chances of it being a failure, and I immediately just have to move on to the next girl as soon as I find out that she gets red flag, oh boom, next one. Whereas like for y'all have to as soon as he says something stupid on the date, be like, oh, next one. And just get up and just fucking leave.
With a girl?
Yes. You can't waste your time. Because you have to talk to 10,000 guys. You can't waste your fucking time.
No, that's me right
As
now.
soon as you see a red flag, you just gotta go. Like you have no time to like chill. If this was 20 years ago and we were dating within our communities, it was a whole different ball game. It was like, oh, like you're gonna connect me with this person. Oh, we already attract to each other. Let's just do this. Like, and you didn't have all this thoughts of all these choices. Like you weren't like, oh, but there's that basketball player that actually responded to me, or he went into my DMs the other day, like there's none of these other choices. Yeah, it was just so easy back in the day. It's just hard now. Let me see those 2 super stats, bro. Click the start up there, and yeah, you can do it that way too. $10 from Dr. Matt. Ladies, do you believe astrology can affect your personality? We'll start over here.
No.
We just talked
No?
about this standing outside.
Yeah. We were
Funny.
talking about it outside.
No.
No, you don't think so? What do you think?
I'm not gonna
Same
lie.
thing, so.
Like, astrology is just kind of weird to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my closest friend, she's just all about astrology. So like anything that I do, she's like, "Oh, it's because you're a Taurus," and I'm just like,
Will you please bring her on the show so I can roast her? Please. Don't tell her my sign
But-
before so I can get her with that joke.
But I mean, can it affect your personality?
Yeah. What about you? Do you think astrology can affect your personality?
I do. I think
Yes.
that there are general
does, guys.
overviews of similarities that certain signs do share.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Really?
Manifest it, queens. Go. What was the next one? $10 from Dr. Matt. Thank you,
And
bro.
you sound like a
Lady-
Taurus.
Ladies, have you considered losing weight to increase the size of your dating pool, or are you looking for men that accept you for your size you are now? That's a very personal question.
Yeah, I'm
Dr.
assuming
Matt.
that's
Ladies, have you
directed towards me.
losing
because I'm a
weight?
big bitch?
So he said, consider losing weight to increase size of your dating pool, or are you looking for men that accept you for the size you are now? Which one are you trying to do more?
If I lose weight, it'll be because I want to, and I am actively like working out so that I can do so. But it's because I want to
Not
feel
for her
better.
dating pool, not for that.
I want to
guys.
feel better, and I want to just be more in shape, not because I want to attract any other
Hey,
time. I
but
mean, I don't have any problem
but
attracting men as is. So
but if it comes with better quality, I know you don't because you're a woman. You know, it's so crazy when women are like, oh, it's so easy. It's like, duh. Like, I hope so. Like, you realize that every woman like gets men easily, right?
that's cool.
I don't know. I just think it's always a bragging point though, and it's like I can
I wasn't
understand if a guy
bragging.
said it because it's like it's hard and it's like, oh yeah, that's hard. Good job, bro. But it's like when a girl said it, I'm just like, it's like bragging that like you can dig dirt. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Right?
Yeah, I wasn't bragging. Just stating that it's not. It wouldn't be the catalyst of why I would want to change my size.
But like,
Yeah.
isn't it nice though if it does give you a better choice of dating pool? Like, say, like it opened up a dating pool of better fit men or men that were just more attractive. Would you like that more?
The men that I get are very attractive and fit. They don't really
Begin
like
to fuck.
bother. They're not bothered
Okay.
by thickness.
Yes, like we already knew this. Yes, I know. But yeah, so yeah, it doesn't matter. What about you though?
I mean, I definitely know where he's coming from when he says that, like losing weight will obviously attract more men. Cool, but in my point of view, I mean, I wouldn't lose weight for a man. Like for a man specifically, no. But
Maybe a husband.
That's actually a good question. I'll ask that after.
what?
Well,
Oh yeah,
kind of similar
yeah.
to that, but no, I'll
Hell
do it after.
yeah.
I want to, but I
But
want to
like
finish
for
this one.
specifically for a man, no. I mean, I'm gonna do it for myself. But I mean, I always obviously know like stay physically fit and get your workouts.
Or else it's gonna
in,
hurt you in the end,
yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
What about you?
For me, no, but I think I know where he's talking about. I think that comes to more um for a woman who probably has kids, who's still in the dating.
Oh, like she's a single baby mama.
Yeah, like I think
there are
that.
thick women who don't have any kids. There are big women who are bigger than me that have 0 kids.
So for me, it's no. But I mean, I'm just trying to think abroad.
They want a guy to love them for who they are, guys, not based off
Everybody
of
wants
their
that.
But
size.
I would say though that because I grew up with my dad. Like he would
Talk a
always
little
be
closer.
like, you gotta look a certain way. You gotta, because women are beauty, whereas men are their money. You know what I mean?
No,
So
it's the leverage thing. If you want to
yeah.
have leverage and have more men, you should focus on your beauty. Honestly, like I have like a priority pyramid that I teach women, and at the very top of it, it is your beauty because to get the guy in the door that you want, it is based off of looks. To lock them in is your loyalty, but to get them through the door, it is your looks. What about you?
Kind of. Like, I've noticed that, like, not like I've noticed, it's just kind of like fact. Like, your cortisol levels raise when you're stressed, and that makes me fat. So, like, if a dude is stressing me out, I will gain 15 pounds. And as soon as, like, that's over, I will lose 20. Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, calm, cool, and collected dude,
Yeah.
I will probably lose, like, 10
Yeah,
pounds.
The average woman
Work
right
too
now
much.
is around 5'2", 5'3", 160 to 170 pounds. The average man is around 5'9", over 220 to 240 pounds. We don't want to accept it, but to be quite honest, American food culture and consumerism is the blame for all that.
Oh yeah.
There should not
So
be.
true.
There should never be a point where someone is continuously taking in 3,000 to 5,000 calories every single day on end, and that's with drinks and food combined.
Yeah,
It's
breakfast.
unacceptable.
I agree that
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
definitely American like
Oh
food
yeah,
culture. for sure.
breakfast is the biggest scam of our time of our time right now. Like them getting everybody to eat breakfast is the thing that they made more money off of. Think about if everybody stopped
don't
eating
eat
breakfast
breakfast.
tomorrow, how much money
I don't eat
would be
breakfast.
dropped out of the GP? Yeah, everybody
Barely
should
even
stop.
ate right now.
I never eat breakfast.
Yeah,
Like,
good
I don't
job.
ever have
I
time
Everybody's
barely
to
even
already
eat
ate
doing good.
breakfast.
right now.
I wanted to ask really quick though, because we brought up the marriage thing. Say like you're married, you have a kid. It's 2 years after the kid. Okay. Is it your responsibility to lose the weight? To please your husband. We're gonna say he's a good man that's doing everything right, and he's been in the gym too.
If it's something that he's concerned with and he wants to happen, hell yeah,
And
that's your husband.
and you're willing, and like if he brought it up, you're not gonna be argumentative about it and stuff.
Yeah,
too?
no, especially if he's supportive through the like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he's a fit man and we're working out together and he's, encouraging,
Encouraging.
that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I gotta look good for my man. So
Yeah.
like 2 years after public, not even a year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Right after.
Yeah, we're just
postpartum, we
saying
in the
2
gym.
years for like the lazy woman.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just and if you're not, then don't be surprised,
No.
that he might cheat.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
She's smart. She's based, bro. She's based. She understands. What's up?
Yeah, I live in my body. It's
Yeah.
gotta feel good.
It's got to feel good. Yeah. I was trying to think of something else that was kind of along the lines of that. Because like you brought up the
the
cheating
cheating?
thing. Also, do y'all think that like is there a situation where in a marriage you would understand that the guy like stepped out? Like, is there any type of situation where you'd be like, you know what, that was my fault, and I probably shouldn't have done that, or else he probably wouldn't have done that?
I can always understand a guy stepping out. I can understand anybody cheating on anybody, but does that make it any more acceptable? Probably not.
But like,
Will
well, I
feel
guess I'm gonna
any
say,
less
would you stay in the
betrayed?
marriage with him?
We're married. I mean, it's situational. It would have to.
Because you said earlier that you were down for it for life if you were gonna do it.
But it is situational. You can only take so much like blatant disrespect before you really have
like,
to like.
is
stand
there a
up for
difference?
yourself.
So like, if he just goes and he got his dick sucked randomly, and then he comes back home, and that's the one thing that happened, compared to an affair where he's like sleeping with the girl regularly and like he's paying for her apartment or something like that, would you say those are two completely different cheating instances?
Absolutely.
And like the one where he just got his dick sucked and that was it.
It's a smaller
That's like way
offense
more less likely.
Yeah, than
Whereas
you
like the affair is
holding
like,
a bitch up in an apartment.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
like that's an instant divorce for you, right?
That's
Hell yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it like I said, I've never been married, so I can't really speak on what I would do in a marriage because it literally is situational. It depends on how secure I feel in the relationship, how much I trust and or I guess love this individual, you know, what kind of understanding we have for one another and all that good stuff. It would just be, there would be a lot of factors that went into whether or not it was like a done deal.
Yeah, I understand that. What about you? Would you stay, you know, if he cheated? Like, or is there different, you know, instances where you would or wouldn't?
With the example that you just gave of, you know, two complete different things.
The affair versus like the little one
exactly.
session.
The other, yeah, the affair is crazy. Like if you're out here doing all of that for somebody else, I'm gone. Like,
Okay.
what,
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, if he tells you, it's a different story.
Like afterwards.
No, like.
So like you're the type where you want to be told beforehand that he's gonna go do it, because I would argue that most women don't want to know.
Shoot,
Wait,
I would,
what?
because I'm like, if
Well,
you
if you're
gonna
there
do
for the
him,
money.
you gonna have to do me too. Like, I'm kidding.
Wait. So like you'd want the girl to come, like you would want the girl to come, like have a thing with all of y'all.
Yeah.
No, but I want to see, like,
You
you
into
gotta do it. Like,
polyamory?
if you're gonna do it behind my back, I'd rather you do it in front of me than behind my back.
And like you
It
you
feels
can accept
different.
that,
It feels different.
and you're not the type where you're like, I gotta go do revenge and do the same
no,
thing.
but you better slut her out. I'm sorry, but no,
God
like,
damn.
like, no, no, like, no, like it's two different stories. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because she's the whore and you're the Madonna.
Like,
yeah.
if you're doing it behind my back, it's one story. But if you do it like in front of my face, then like maybe I'll feel some type of way. But I'm like, at least you're doing it there to where like you still care about me. You know what I mean?
And there's a
What
lot of
about
men that want to do that, where they just want to be fully honest about everything. So you might be lucky.
But what
there.
about if he's like repetitively doing that type of
Then
shit?
that's a different story. Then it's like,
But like you could let him like have a hall pass like once every year to 5 years or 10 years or something.
Then that, I don't know. I would look a little bit more deeper into that, because it's like when you're doing that on a regular basis, then what's up? Like, are you addicted to sex? You know, are you more polygamous? Are you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, that's definitely like a sex thing. Like, is your marriage sexless? Because that's like that's a huge part of it. You can have friends you can have friends that are close or whatever, but you're not sleeping with them. I would want to know beforehand, and it doesn't mean it's okay.
Right.
But yeah, finding out like after the fact, I'm like, man,
Feels different.
why not? Why aren't we doing that? Like, what's wrong with us? It would be done.
Yeah. So like,
Oh wait, Sergio, I have a question. Real quick.
yeah, go for it.
How often do you ladies think a guy who's like, you know, the shit, right? He has his money together, fitness together, all that. How often do you think he cheats?
Oh, I do not know.
I think if a guy is on his purpose, is aligned with himself, there's not a lot of cheating going on.
What do you think?
I actually agree with her, because I mean, I don't feel like just because they're fit and whatever the case may be defines that they're gonna cheat. I mean, I feel like if they're aligned, that shouldn't happen or be a cross in their mind.
What do you think?
I think that it all depends on how satisfied they are in the relationship.
That too.
I think that if there's something missing from whatever situation they're in, they will probably go seek it elsewhere.
Yeah, I actually agree with her on that.
Right.
What were you thinking, Mike?
Yeah, I asked this question because when girls say, "Oh, do you go out? Do you step out on me a lot?" Right? Because girls will typically ask that of a guy who's like, I don't know. A girl can look at a guy and just know that, oh yeah, he's fucking other chicks, right? But the reason I ask is because, ladies, a guy is not really gonna cheat on you that much, not as much as you think. If you're not,
Especially if you're satisfying him.
yeah, if you're doing everything right as a woman, you know, in his life, he's really only gonna cheat realistically like a few times a year, right? Maybe
Maybe less.
maybe on that business trip. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give him head every single day, ladies, I'm giving you some free game right now. If you give him head every single morning, right? Make sure he's taking care of it before he needs to go do what he needs to do.
He has
He's
no
not gonna go
reason.
cheat.
He has
You know
no
what I'm saying?
reason. Yeah.
And to all the guys, if you feel the need to cheat all the time, you don't have the right girl.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. You just don't have the right girl, and like, like,
Something's
I
missing.
agree with you.
I
How like you were saying, like a guy on their purpose, like they don't, and I completely agree with you. I preach all the time on this channel that guys on their purpose do not chase, and like my biggest thing that I teach is to not chase. So like, but say like he's that type of guy on his purpose, and he's not chasing women, but he's like what he's saying. He's on a business trip somewhere. He happens to go to a bar, and a girl comes back with him, and she literally just sucks his dick, or it's just like a one night thing. And he didn't chase this girl. Like she came up and hit on him at the bar. She fucking walked in, like she was sitting there trying to fuck him and like basically borderline raping him, and like and he just did it, and then he didn't ever want to talk to her again afterwards. Like she completely chased him, I guess. And I just think that's two completely different things. Whereas like the guy who's putting out his money, energy, attention, and time, like he's simping, like texting a million girls, liking a bunch of pictures, sending a bunch of text messages to fuck girls, like trying to fuck a bunch of girls, that's a loser to me. Because like you have all this resources and you give it out for free to everyone, you're a loser. And like those guys should just be avoided like the plague. If you see that he likes a million girls bikini pictures on Instagram, he's a simp beta cuck, and you should probably run.
And let's be honest, if a girl doesn't want to fuck your man, are you with the right guy?
Yeah, y'all want a guy that's
if you
like
want to
other.
fuck your man, then yes, you're with the right guy. It
Well,
doesn't
I
matter
would-
who else wants to fuck your man. If you want to fuck that man, that's your nigga.
Well, I would just say that it turns you on more. Like say y'all went to a club and like you're going home with him that night, and like y'all go and there's a bunch of really attractive women that are staring at your guy. They're looking at him. They're like, damn. Like one of the girls even comes up and tries to talk to him. You're gonna be like, I'm that fucking bitch. I got the baddest guy in here, and that
that's a
feels
good
good.
feeling.
Whereas guys, bro, we do not feel the same. Honestly, I don't want like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, I got the baddest bitch just because I know like guys are thirsty and they be doing that to every fucking girl, so it's not special.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd
Men
feel
don't
special
like
if
that.
if other
You're right.
women were fucking lusting for your dude. Fuck, you'd feel special.
Yeah,
You'd feel like that's mine, bro.
I guess it
feels
depends
good.
on how
Flirting
bold
with your
they
man
are.
type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It depends on how bold they
But
are.
no, if a girl's so bold that she walks up to him, oh man, you'd feel like, damn, I have a guy who's so hot.
Like
women
that, and I would
women
be
come
like,
to him.
Five
He's
down.
taken.
Yeah.
Thank you. But thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Let me see that 5 from Don Han really quick. Serge is grounded as fuck. Awesome. I'm okay with women being disappointments. Many aren't worth dating, to be
Sounds so
honest.
sad.
Ladies, find a high quality guy and stick to them. Yeah.
Period.
I want to ask really
Until
quick.
then-
I like how you said high quality, bro. That's one of my favorite questions to
Yes.
ask. Do y'all think what is the difference between a high quality man and a high value man? Okay, I'll start with you on this one. A high quality man and a high value man.
Ooh. Like, is value like necessarily monetized?
Well, value is what the marketplace determines him as. The marketplace says, okay, because he's this rich or he's this height or he's a basketball player, whatever it is, his market value is higher. So what's the difference between those two things? You think a high quality man and a high value man?
I think it can be the same.
Like he
Going
could
back
be a
to, like-
unicorn and have both of those traits?
Yes, like once going back to like ego and like putting people on a pedestal, like by the time someone puts you on a pedestal, you have to look down on them. Like they don't give you a choice anymore. And that's not necessarily the high value person's problem. It's just the way that they like perceive it and how they handle it. And
Because they're so valuable.
and detached also. So like that's high quality if they're not like necessarily taking advantage of that in a way that boosts their ego, because like everything you do is just a performance for your ego.
Oh, because they could just take advantage of them because of their value, like not learn.
I mean, you never knows what somebody is like in their personal time. So a lot of the time it's just like a show, right? Like when you have a lot of attention.
Mhm.
There's got to be something real behind that.
Okay. What do you think is the difference between quality man and a high value man and a high quality man?
I'm speechless, honestly. A high value man. What is that? Like you're saying, like with government and stuff, like.
Well, I would just say
money
his
or-
market value, like how in the sexual marketplace, in the dating marketplace, how they're valued.
They're different for sure. Because you can be high value, but
but have some shitty qualities possibly.
Whereas high quality, like, you're more likely to have a man. If he's high quality, you're more likely to have a man where he gives you more attention, more romanticism in a relationship.
Okay.
Whereas high value, you don't really get that.
You might not get that. What do you think the difference is between the two?
That's what I was gonna say when it comes to like, it's like different structures. Like it could be as far as like you said, their status or whatever, but then it also comes to how they treat you, what the like nurturism that they gave you.
Okay. What do you think is the difference between those two things?
Yeah, I agree. High value is more of a monetary thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what makes you high quality is your empathy, your ability to, support those around you and be a good partner.
Yeah.
So
No, so this is one of my favorite things to talk about because like there's like they're two completely different things. A high quality man can be the guy who makes $50K a year as an HVAC worker, and he comes home and he brings you flowers every once in a while. Y'all go on dates every week or two. He's a good father. He's always there for you. He's loving. He's nurturing. He's caring. He's a high quality guy. He's quality man. But high value is just what everybody else wants. That whether that's because he's rich, he's 6'4", he has a foot long dick, like whatever the fuck it is about him that makes him valuable to the marketplace and everybody wants to fuck with him, he's high value. Now, there's some guys that are both, yes, but they're unicorns.
yeah,
Fucking rare as hell. You're not going to find it. And most women end up having to choose between those two things. Do I want this guy who's a really good guy, but he's a kind of a beta simp and he only makes $40K a year? Or do I want this high value man that everybody else wants?
$40K a year is crazy.
And, yeah. Well, hey, you say it's crazy, but you know what the average income in America is?
Yeah.
It's 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's less, sadly. Let me see that next $2. $2 from Don Juan. Melissa Joan Hart here. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. What was he referencing to?
Her, probably.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That is a good one. God, I didn't even think about that. Ladies, I want to ask really quick, because we were talking about like the cheating and stuff. What would bother you more, to be physically cheated on or to be emotionally cheated on?
Oh, sorry, I was still stuck on that
Oh,
comment.
you're good. Don Juan, ladies, if you keep him empty, he won't leave.
I really can't stand
this. I mean, physically cheating on someone, that's like pretty definitive. Emotionally, like what I guess it's like less defined.
Like, right. Emotional as in like like he's texting the girl all the time. He's like talking to her all the time. Like do you care more about him emotionally cheating, like having like he's building that emotions with that woman, or that he went and had sex with a woman? Which one of those would piss you off more?
They both suck.
I know, but you got to choose. But just right. By 51%, which one just pissed you off just a little bit more?
Going back to like my first boyfriend ever, he cheated on me and I took him back. So, but I was already like so emotionally detached. City boy! It did not work out. Yeah. We lived together for quite some time, and I eventually, like 3 years later, I left him, and I was like, I can't. You cheated on me. 3 years later.
Oh, that's crazy. But so what do you think? Which one though? Which one would piss you off more? The emotional cheating, like him building a relationship with another woman, or him just fucking another woman?
The emotional.
The emotional?
Right,
what do you think? Emotional? What do you think?
I say emotional, but I say emotional because I feel like once they gain that emotional connection with somebody else, it's different than when they just have like a one night stand and then they're probably gonna like hop right back to you. Like in men, I feel like when they do that, they don't really care. It's more when females do it, it's different than when a man does it. Like if a man does a one night stand, it's kind of just a normalized thing. But if a female does something like that, it's different. So emotional.
What do you think?
I think that it's equally a betrayal. However, the physicality of it would probably be my breaking point.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not one that is down with you touching everybody else. That's not my thing. Because especially not you coming back home and touching me afterwards, you know. And so I think that's for me is more of a betrayal. And that's also to say that I'm also the type of person that will probably have friends of the opposite sex that I might conversate with and shit like that. So it's not like I can completely be 100% upset that this person's going to be, conversing. But whenever relationships I think are natural. So if you talk to somebody long enough, you're going to develop some type of relationship with them emotionally, whether it be friendship or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, the physicality of it.
Physical
If
for
I
you.
can have these same urges, because we do have high sex. Some of us do have high sex drives, and we do crave, sex regularly. And if I can have the self control to not step outside of this for my sexual needs, I expect you to do the same. Period.
Mm.
Okay.
We have 17 times more testosterone, though.
Yeah, like men and women are completely different. Like
I hear it.
like you can't even fathom
listening.
like women who take testosterone. Like there's women that'll take testosterone and get like the 300, 400 like levels in tests in their body, and like they can't even fathom. Like those women are like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. I can't imagine what y'all feel. Can you imagine a guy that has like 1,000 tests? Like it's insane.
It's literally
Like
a fucking
like
demon,
well, you
bro.
know how much women have? 13 to 50. Like 13 to naturally you produce 13 to 50. We produce anywhere from 400 up to 1,200.
Yeah, I'm not talking
So
about
it's like
testosterone
yeah, but
levels.
testosterone is complete. The reason why he's bringing it up is because it's directly linked to your horniness. So it's directly linked to
Right.
like how horny somebody is.
I
And that's
understand.
why whenever we like to compare, like when a guy cheats or like when a guy sleeps around to a woman, it's just completely different. Like you're like like he stepped out, like I'm just as horny, like I would want to do that too. But it's like, but we're different. Like we're not the same. Like you shouldn't even see it as the same.
Our urges may be different, but the concept of self-control is exactly the same across the board. If
Yeah.
you are choosing to be exclusive with someone, that's what you're doing. You can be
Well,
single
yeah,
and
you
you
should
can
never lie
fuck
about it.
whoever you want.
Well, yeah, you should never lie about it. But I wanted to bring up something. So, like, you're the only girl that, like, answered, the physicality thing. When we look at studies, this is actually by far my favorite study that I ever preach on this channel. When and across the board, doesn't matter what country you look at or anything, when they ask this question, what it usually showed is men care about physical cheating, women care about emotional. Like, a man always wants to ask, did you fuck him? And a woman wants to know, do you love her? And the reason why is because we're hardwired. Y'all give a fuck about love and y'all's emotional connection with that guy, because if he jumps ship after 3 years to some new bitch, your emotional investment, your last 3 years you invested with this guy, your time, it's blown, it's gone. And so that's why y'all really give a fuck about the emotional investment. It's like, oh damn, he's falling in love with this other bitch. I'm fucked. I'm gonna lose my ability to be provided for. My kids are gonna be fucked. We're all screwed because he fell in love. He's falling in love with her. Whereas we give a fuck about you fucking the other guy because we couldn't tell if the baby was ours for thousands of years. There was no test to see if the baby was mine or not. So that's why I really give a fuck about your pussy loyalty, and it better be just mine. And I'm gonna make sure of it as best as I can, because I don't want to raise somebody else's kids for 20 years. And back in the day, we couldn't tell. There was no way of fucking telling at all. So that's why guys are so hardcore about mate guarding and jealousy and all those things. It's very natural, and it's for good reason, to make sure that our kids are our fucking kids. Yeah. But no,
Yeah, we all have a tinge of jealousy in us naturally.
Oh yeah, and there's nothing wrong.
That's like literally a normal human thing. So to act like jealousy is like a toxic thing is weird.
Oh yeah,
When we care about someone, we don't want to see them with somebody else. It doesn't matter how long ago, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you still have that love for that person, you're not trying to see that.
shout out to Dr. David Buss. Like he literally, like, he wrote a lot of books on jealousy, and like I love them because we always think that jealousy and just like a lot of codependency, like all these things about relationships are so horrible. And it's like, no, they're all really natural. And it's all to make sure that we stayed really good families. And it's all to make sure that like people didn't sleep around and stuff, because we couldn't tell if the baby was ours. We couldn't, like back in the day, if you got STDs or something, you could die. Like if your man ran off after fucking you, you and your child were both going to die. Like there's a lot of reasons why we have all these safety mechanisms that nature built into us. And there's nothing wrong with them. Do y'all? I gotta ask really quick. Do y'all think that women go through heat like animals do?
We literally have periods, so that's what a heat
Yeah.
is. Yeah, and
Well, there's like
do you mean
it's called
like the
it's called
horniness
Esther. Yeah, it's called Esther. Yeah.
prior, and yeah, that happens before you have your periods, you get extremely horny. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, like
You think women go through heat just like animals? What do you think?
Yeah.
It's a fact.
That's why it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's called it's actually called estrus. Is like how it works. But
or PMS,
yeah,
as
but
we like to call
well,
it.
well, so you're a little bit off though. So there's an amazing book called Hormonal by Marty Hazelton. She's like the biggest woman in evolutionary psychology. And like I love this fucking book because she goes through the whole cycle and explains all of it. And you're actually most horny 2 weeks after your period. That's whenever you're
Ovulating.
yes.
Mhm.
And so like as soon as you start ovulating, that's whenever you're at your peak horniness. And actually PMS is there because you want to push away the beta loser dudes. Like the reason why you PMS at that point is because you're trying to push away all the fucking loser annoying people. Everybody annoys, just guys talking that have certain pitches of voices and stuff, you will be so annoyed by just their voice. And like, and then once it gets to like 2 weeks later, you want men around you that talk like this, and you're like, y'all want to walk around more, y'all eat less. There's all types of things that women do 2 weeks after their period that whenever you're on your period, you do the opposite kind of, or like something completely different.
It's hard to do much of anything when you're like really on your period.
Yeah, I want to ask,
but sleep and eat.
Yeah, I want to
like,
ask really quick, who's
stuff.
on birth control at the table?
Oh no.
No.
I've never been
Don't
on
have
birth
sex,
control.
No.
I'm on birth control.
Why?
What you mean?
I gotta
why?
shame you
I
for
have
this,
a child and I don't want any more.
But like,
Not right now, at least.
but like, do you think it's healthy? Like, has your trip with birth control been healthy? Because every woman is different. But do you feel like it's not that bad? Like, it's not hurting you in any way?
I'm not. I use the patch, so I'm not like on it every single day. But I do use it if I know I'm probably gonna have unprotected sex, so that I can prevent things. It's pretty immediately effective, so like I literally just put it on if I'm gonna have sex. And
I didn't even know that the patch was like that. That's crazy.
yeah, and so
does it mess with your cycle at all?
It doesn't. It literally can actually help regulate your cycle if you have.
That's what that's what every doctor says, but yeah.
It does though. When you take the patch off, like on your off week or whatever, if you do choose to wear it regularly, then you have your period on that week. So it's like pretty regular.
Do you ever feel like it's just unnatural? Like it just
very
might
much
not,
so.
like,
Before the patch, I wasn't on birth control for probably like 2 or 3 years, maybe 4. But before that, I had the implant in my arm. I got it after I had my kid, and that lasted for like 3 years. And I didn't really have any issues on that either, aside from like the putting it in and taking it out. It's kind of just unpleasant because it was like literally an implant.
Yeah, it's
in
a
your skin.
damn near surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of odd because it did feel very unnatural. Like, even though I didn't have any like super weird side effects, like not having a period for extended periods of time, I legitimately chose to take it out because I was like, I want my body to kind of do what it's supposed to do for a while.
Try to be natural.
Yeah, and I haven't been like regularly on birth control since that. I just got the patch, like I said, for emergency purposes only, you know?
Yeah. I'm just use a fucking condom. What the fuck,
I'm
man?
allergic to
Crazy.
latex, and nobody likes fucking lambskins.
Oh yeah, I could definitely understand
Yeah,
that.
they don't
that's
stretch.
great.
Like,
Wait.
latex
So like,
do.
I mean, why are these guys pull-out games so weak? Like, what the fuck? They got leaky faucets or
well,
something?
I'm not. I don't really interact with a lot of people at one time. I'm like a serial monogamist, so I be fucking with.
Oh
like,
no,
one guy at a time.
I mean, I know.
And so
I know
it's
women like to only fuck one man at a time.
real. Yeah, so it's usually like a more of like a situationship kind of thing that we got going on whenever I get involved. But right now, I'm not fucking with anybody. But it's not so much that their pull-out game is weak. It's just that I want to be safe,
Yeah.
just in case. You know, anything can happen.
You really think that you should be sleeping with guys that like you'd be scared of having a baby from them? Like I just think that those guys are just fucking losers, and like they don't even deserve like a fun night with you.
Realistically,
Because like
no.
if you can't even have a child with them, it's like you don't even deserve a fucking night with me.
Yeah, but being a single mom, I wouldn't want to create another child and not have that support.
Yeah, but like
with it.
so just see, this is where I'm gonna get roasted. But you just gotta stop sleeping. You know, just stop fucking people at all. Like I know that sounds horrible, but like it just.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and if I were to choose celibacy, that would be cool, you know. And I don't necessarily have a lot of sex, but I'm very particular with my mates.
But so like, you know, like you said, you would be interested in marriage possibly if the right person ever came and stuff like that. And like one of the big reasons why I preach celibacy for the women on this show is because if you stay celibate, you're going to have more opportunities to possibly find that husband.
Yeah,
because
sex clouds your judgment.
Yes,
and it keeps you in the same spot.
Yes,
for
you
a
get
long
digmatized.
time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And those guys are just siphoning energy from y'all, and it's just like
literal incubi.
Yeah.
That will literally attach to you and stay attached to you for years.
Whatever, y'all are succubuses, man. Women are way worse.
when
dude.
we want to be, but
No, women are succubuses. Don't blame the guy. See, like the thing is, like if a guy's doing that, it's always the woman's fault. Like y'all know already what it is. Like you know that you shouldn't be doing that. You know you're living in your hedonism. You know he's just gonna dick you around and not take you seriously. You know he got 5 other girls that he's doing it with. You know all these things, and sometimes y'all just don't want to ask the questions or you don't want to realize it. So it's like
sometimes you care about somebody enough to where you really kind of just want to stay in the dark about it. To be honest,
you got to stop caring about
that's
those
just
people,
what it is.
though, man.
And it's a hard situation to be in as a woman sometimes whenever you actually do care and it's obvious that this isn't going anywhere,
Yeah.
but you care so much that you can't quite.
And
you
how's
know.
your
That's
kid
how you
though?
get hurt, though.
She's 6.
She's
She'll be
6.
7 in
Okay.
October.
And like, do you want her like? Does she already have a good male figure around, like maybe a uncle or brother or father or anything like that? And if she doesn't, do you really want if you don't have one of those male? Do you really want to find a good male to like have that, or does she have a good father that she sees often, or what?
She knows her dad. She doesn't see him all that often. He doesn't live here in Dallas. But that's definitely very important, and it's a huge factor in dating or in me finding a mate in general. He does have to be a paternal figure for my child. So, I mean, it's not necessarily full on taking over being the father because she does know her dad. But as far as
This is an example. It's not even that he needs to be like the full on father figure, but
Yeah,
an
no, I definitely
example
that's
how
a
he
part of
treats
it.
you, how he
Yeah,
you know.
him. My
Yeah.
daughter's definitely factored into that.
Yeah.
We're a package deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No. So I just want to. I really want you to know, even for her life, for the next 10 years, like you say, you're not that worried about married, like you're not looking, it's not that big of a deal. But I really think that when you make it your goal, when it's just like anything in this world, like if you plan for failure, like if you fail to plan, then if you
plan to
failed,
fail.
yeah, then you
Yeah.
plan to fail. Yeah, my
Mhm.
bad. But yeah, so
Gotcha.
whenever you do those things, like, or when you sit there and you plan to just not really care about it, like you're not gonna be able to open yourself up to the right guy possibly. And like I would highly suggest, not sleeping with certain, like it's really easy to Chad chase. It's really easy to accidentally start fucking certain calibers of men because men date down or men fuck down so easily. And the next thing you know, you like have these certain expectations from men that are based off of guys that you fucked in the past. And it's like you shouldn't even have those expectations because that guy was just kind of fucking down,
Right.
And like I just it's not even about you right now, honestly. Like honestly, I'm saying all this because I want your daughter, because I see a lot of women that come on this show that have no males in their lives or anything. And they only had a mom or they only had women in their life. And they say, they're not exactly misandrous or they're not exactly like hate men or anything, but they're just horrible with men and they just don't understand them at all. And then they go through life tumbling downhill because they don't understand like men at all. They've never seen like a good relationship with them. And so like I just would highly suggest like changing certain parts about your life and actually pursuing and looking for a man. And I know that sounds crazy because a lot of women are like, what? I'm not supposed to pursue, like the guy's supposed to come to me, but you really do. And I'll explain why in just a second.
Oh no! If
And,
I see something I want, I'm gonna pursue that.
okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'm
But
not.
yeah,
I'm not one of those sit back and watch
Yeah,
type of
me
people.
neither.
If I see somebody I like, I'm going to make it known that I'm
well, that's good.
interested.
Yeah. And that's good. I just want to make sure that like you're always doing that. And like I said, for your daughter, it's not even necessarily for you. Like it will be good for you too, but she's going to have a way better life in the future if she has a habit of seeing like you with a man and he's treating you right and doing all
Yeah,
that
it's
cute
for
shit.
me, but it is for her to see for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a big thing as far as like, if I don't see him as a paternal figure, it's probably not going to work out, and that's just how it is. I can't separate the two because my child is very much like with me a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
I got to ask really quick, and nobody else has kids, or does anybody else have kids? No? No? I got to ask really quick, does anybody know what their purpose is? Do you know what your purpose in life is? What's your purpose?
Just to be here. I'm just
Living.
Mhm.
every day is a good day.
Yeah, that's a good one. What do you think? What's your purpose?
For me, it's definitely helping people have a better, healthy lifestyle.
Better healthy lifestyle. What's your purpose?
I'm a big, like you said, but I just feel like I want to impact a lot of like not even people, but just a lot of different like things in life. So it can really get really deep, but
Just want to impact people
yeah, definitely.
in general. Just impact people.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would be broad.
What do you think your purpose is?
I'm still figuring that out, but I think that whatever it is, I'm meant to speak. I'm meant to say things.
Yeah, speak
Yeah.
your heart.
Yeah.
I would say that you're the woman on this panel that's living the most in your purpose, and I'll explain to you why. You have a child, and I truly believe so. Like I really believe that like men, if I was 50, 60 years old and say I did nothing with my life, like I didn't create anything, say I just I just had a normal 40-hour a week job. I just worked under the boss. I just did all the normal shit, bought the house, did
Without
all the stupid
emotions.
normal thing. I would be depressed at 50, 60 because I didn't build anything. I didn't add to this world. I didn't write a book. I didn't grow a tree. I didn't do anything, you know? That's what makes men depressed because that's we were meant to like I was saying earlier, you know, little boys like to play with things, we like to build things. Women, and for y'all, since my purpose is to create things, build the world, you know, build these buildings, build everything that you see around us. Women's purpose is to create people. That's something that I can never do. I'm never going to be able to create life. Y'all can. So y'all's purpose is directly tied sometimes to creating things. I think also spreading God and Jesus to people is also a purpose because that's spreading light, like that's spreading gratitude, that's spreading devotion and love to others. So that's always like a baseline across the board purpose for all of us. But then there's an individual natural moral law that we all need to follow, and that is women create people and men create things. And I truly think that if you don't want to be depressed at 50, 60, you want to have kids because when you have kids, that's what you're living for at that point. You're not living for yourself or what you think makes you happy. You're living for the thing that your body and nature literally made you to fucking do. You know, so like, yeah, I think that all of y'all are gonna end up on y'all's purpose one day because all y'all have the mentality of like wanting something like this. What's crazy is you're really based, and when you first came in here, I had no idea that you were gonna talk like you did. You definitely like ended up surprising the fuck out of me about some shit. I want to ask really quick, ladies, what's more important? What does a guy want more, respect or love?
Respect.
Respect. What do you think?
Respect.
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 Respect, probably.
I want to ask you specifically, really quick. Do you think that like respect is harder to give to a guy now that you have a kid? Like because you take care of all your bills, you take care of you and your kid easily and stuff like that. Would you say that when guys come in, is it harder for you to give them the lower respect they might want because you're already head of house, you're the one with the kid, you're the one who's settled and like an adult, like you're the one who's like fully has their life together?
Not necessarily, because whenever I'm looking for a man, I'm looking for somebody to complement.
Somebody,
Yeah, somebody to come in and multiply what I have going on, if anything. So
would you want more kids?
I would be open to having more kids if I were to be married and my spouse didn't come with a whole bunch of kids
Yeah.
and wanted one or something. I could do that.
What number would you want to end with if you could?
Three.
If you could have
Three at most.
What number would you end with?
Ooh.
I have a lot of little siblings, and I just wish I had more. Like they're all
Like probably 4 or 5.
yeah. I would not mind having a bunch of kids, but I also don't have hands for that. Like I don't
Mhm.
have time.
If he was a rich guy and we were saying he had servants and stuff,
I'm
y'all,
pretty
Oh, yeah.
proud of like my little siblings and like my youngest brother, my youngest two brothers. Those are like, and my oldest, all of my little brothers. They're like the greatest men in the world. So it's not that like I don't have any men in my
what's the
life.
oldest brother that you have?
He's a couple years younger than me.
A couple years
Yeah.
younger.
And
And what does he think dating's like right now? Does he talk to you about it at all?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, her
he-
face was
She's
fucking
like, no.
hilarious.
He just had his
Ew.
first baby, so I'm a new aunt. Yeah, very exciting.
Nice.
And he has
Congratulations.
a great lady with him.
Did he get married or did they not?
I think she has a ring. I don't know if they're technically married. I should probably ask.
I mean, no, it's the new thing. People just
No.
have babies now. We
Right.
don't fucking do the whole marriage
They've
thing
been
no more.
together for a very
Promise
long time.
We're in a
rings.
post-marriage society. Like we're gonna have to find out over the next 5-10 years like how it's gonna work, because like I told y'all earlier, for a guy it's really not our dating strategy to put the ring on it. Like it's really not. Like you're gonna end up losing leverage. She's gonna end up treating you a different way. Like we were kind of talking earlier, you know, about, you know, a guy stepping out, and it's like, well, if I'm not doing it, like why should he want to do that? It's just men or women are different. Like we want variety. Like men want quantity and women want quality. Like if I'd love to ask on panels, like y'all are in a good panel to ask, but I like to ask the ladies, you know, do you have a roster? And usually when they say, yeah, I do, it's usually they're fucking one guy. And then they have one guy that takes them to dinner, one guy that calls them, one guy that takes them on vacation, one guy that pays their rent. They have like, that's their roster. It's not a real roster like a guy where he actually will have the Monday girl, the Wednesday girl, the Friday girl, the Sunday girl. Like he actually has a roster and he fucks all of them, you know? So like, and so we're just not the same. Like whenever you think that you can be in a marriage with a guy for 20, 30, 40 years and he's always going to stay loyal, I think he can if he's the type that he's only had, say, 5 or 6 girls in his life before. But any guy that's had a certain amount of variety, I think he's going to itch for more at a certain point. And like, it's just not
I
always gonna
think
work.
that's flesh at that point.
What he's like falling for like.
Flesh.
Okay, I mean, like the thing is like we were saying the 17 times horniness thing, and like I said, I don't ever tell guys to cheat. Like y'all gotta understand, I don't preach for guys to cheating, but I definitely think there's a difference between, like I said, a guy who's chasing women and then giving his resource, like the guy who's having an affair, who's literally taking care of her and doing all this stuff. That's way different than the guy who just got his dick sucked or just fucked the girl one time. Like I think there's just a totally different things. And then some women really don't fucking want to know about it. Like some of y'all were like, I would want to know, but some women are just like, I wouldn't even want to fucking know if it was something that's stupid and small. Like I don't even want to fucking worry about it.
It would
So
be best to not tell me. Yeah, like it's best for everybody if you just don't tell me. If you can keep it a secret, do that.
I think if
but
he
just don't
tells you,
get
though,
used to
you'll-
it.
here, I got a theory real quick. I posted this on Twitter like a couple weeks ago, and I might be wrong. Like y'all are ladies, so y'all could tell me if my theory was wrong. But I had a theory that I think that the women cheat, or there's three different ways that, or three different things that a woman would do after somebody cheats on her. You're either going to go cheat in revenge and not say anything,
Cheat
like
back.
you're gonna be like, yes, cheat back, but not say anything. You're gonna break up with him, and then go fuck his friend, or you just do nothing. You're just like, you know what? He went and fucked somebody else. I'm not vengeful, and I also don't I don't care. Like fuck it. Like whatever, dude. Like would y'all say that that's the three different things that a woman does if she gets cheated on, or is there a fourth thing that a woman would do when she gets
I
cheated on?
didn't know girls go fuck their friends.
I've definitely had
I didn't know
seen
that.
instances
Because honestly,
where like
that's
I've been in
not
the
me.
situation.
Like
where-
that is
That's
that's
weird.
honestly weird to me. That's kind of disgusting.
weird,
And
yeah.
honestly, that's not
It
in
is
my
what it is.
morals.
It is what it
Morals
is,
and
baby.
It is what it is.
It depends on how.
Honestly.
I've
It
never
depends if
done
she
it
really
before.
liked that guy or
Yeah,
not.
I've never done it before. But if that nigga was extra fine and that man did
Oh,
me
no.
dirty, I don't give a fuck if that
Yeah,
was your friend
it
or
depends
not.
how dirty it was,
yeah,
right?
I don't give
If
a
he
fuck
did
if that
you
was your
shit-
friend or not.
Yeah.
Especially if we weren't in an actual relationship. You just somebody I was fucking with, and then you did me dirty.
Oh yeah, if it was a fuck boy.
What
or
makes
something.
him off limits?
Yeah, but say like you dated the guy
Hell
for
no.
like years. Like say y'all dated for like 2 or 3 years. Y'all aren't married, okay? But
Right.
y'all have been dating for 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
You're expecting to hopefully get married soon.
Oh,
Like
see, that's different though. You're
No,
not gonna go fuck his best man.
so what
'Cause you still
what
care.
would
But
you
that's
do if
happened
you
to
got
me,
cheated on in
like-
that situation?
What do
Would
you
you
mean?
do any of those three things? Like if you got cheated
Oh,
on, you were
we're
with the guy
like
for 3 years.
engaged and
I did
shit.
Not
like,
engaged. We're gonna say like it's right that point before you are about to get engaged. Like what would you do? Would you want
I
like
would probably I'm more of a just leave type of person. I've
you would
never
just be like peace
I've
out?
never like ruined anybody's property. I've never like if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here.
Okay. What about you?
I'm the same way.
You would just leave him?
Yeah.
What would
Yeah,
you do?
It's
Just leave
best
him?
to leave.
What would you
I
do?
think it depends on like, am I mad? Like, how do I feel about it?
How
We're
angry
also
am
gonna
I
say
about
this is a really high caliber guy. Like you really want to be with him. Like he's like you really want to fucking get married. Like
I won't want to. After,
won't- you won't-
after
you
he
won't
cheats
after
promise
on
that?
you,
me,
I will
that's
not
a turn
want to.
off.
after that.
It's a
Yeah,
straight
the
turn
more it hurts, the
more
I
you-
might be reckless for a
The more
minute.
animosity.
I might be a little mean.
You might be a little mean.
Yeah,
Or, like,
I wouldn't put
It's
myself
not worth
past
like
it.
all the abuse. He should just end it after that point. It sounds like
off.
it's not worth it.
Yeah,
Uh.
that's the main reason because I'll never look at you the same again. Like
Yeah.
I can sit here in your face and act like we're still in a relationship, but in my mind, after you've betrayed that trust, I've checked out. Like, and I don't care if you trust me or not, or you know what I'm saying. Like, there's a certain like when you have that comfort and that trust in somebody, and you know they're loyal to you, you have that understanding that's kind of unspoken with that person, and once the trust is broken it literally just kind of dissipates, and then it ends up being kind of like this weird shell of the relationship that y'all used to have.
Mhm.
But it's kind of that
It's
looming fog.
Oh yeah,
that
it's not. Well,
always
yeah,
is
you don't
there.
love. Yeah, you don't love him anymore. Like you
Yeah.
fell out of love with him. I was on the Lapeef show last night. Like it was called King Talk, and it's like it's a big channel, and like a lot. We were talking a lot about the cheating stuff, and all the guys kept saying, "She's gonna go cheat on. Like if you do it, she's gonna go cheat on you." And I'm just like, then she's a vengeful bitch. I wouldn't want to be with her anyways. Then, like if she's the type where like her first reaction is, "I have to go get revenge sex if you did this," she's a whore.
But also,
Some
too-
girls, it's
Oh,
like that's
okay.
the only way I'm gonna be able to stay is if I do
Well,
it
also,
too.
too,
Like,
no,
I
yeah,
feel
that's
like
what I was
we're-
about to say.
so
but that's
I feel
retarded.
like
I have a
we've
crazy.
question
gotten
for the
even.
panel.
I wouldn't do it.
I have a
Yeah.
question
Yeah,
for the
that's
Yeah,
panel.
what's up, bro?
Who do you, ladies, who do you believe cheating hurts more as far as status goes? Women or men?
Status? Unfortunately, women, yeah, for sure. If we cheat in a relationship, we're definitely looked way more down upon than a man because obviously you guys think it's natural, and that's
Oh,
what you
Wait,
guys do.
Oh, we
What do you
don't
mean?
think we know it is.
That's what you
Who
guys
thinks
do.
it's natural? Like men?
Men, yeah, it's
Yeah.
natural for them. They
Whose
do
status
it because
does it
they
hurt
have
more?
to.
Whose status does it hurt more? though?
Ours.
It hurts the woman's status
Yeah.
more? What do you think?
We're looked at as like kind of like, if you are the bitch that cheated on your husband, you a hoe. You're that bitch forever. Like you're not gonna live.
You're
that
always
down
gonna
But
be
to
a
I
whore.
also,
23.
but I also feel like it's talked about in men. Like it's honestly kind of seen as a normalized thing to see men cheat
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
What was the
But
question?
not that I want.
What was
that.
it again, Julian?
Whose status does it hurt more? Cheating.
When it comes to like status, what do you mean exactly? Because when it comes to like
As far as to
public-
their
How his
peers and
peers.
family.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say the man, honestly,
The
because
man?
you can't keep her straight.
You
No,
are
just-
based.
What do you think?
I don't even have like a relatable experience for that, really. I want to say the man, but it never ends up that way.
Yeah. What do you think, Julian?
When a man gets cheated on, all of his boys, all the men that are surrounding him, which is what really matters, are all looking at him like he's a loser.
He's
True.
a bitch.
True.
Especially
When
if
a
he stays
woman
with her.
cheats, she gets positive reinforcement from all the women around because they're asking, what did he do wrong?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
Society
I think
always
that I
says
hang
he did something
around
wrong.
Some pretty accountable women, and
Yeah,
I've
same.
gone
Maybe
off
y'all.
on my
No,
homegirls
for sure.
before for doing
Accountability
crazy shit.
with women is like accountability with children.
To
Very,
a certain
very
extent.
similar.
To a certain extent.
No.
Sometimes it
'Cause I
works.
You
can-
have
I
to
can
be an
actually
aware
I can actually
individual
agree
in
with
order
you.
to hold yourself accountable for certain things. But I think that I'm blessed to have friends that are pretty self-aware and pretty responsible.
I think
You
it's
would be
like,
surprised, ladies.
Yeah.
if you have a man, right? If you have a man and he's out there and you cheat, he's gonna be looked a certain way. Whereas if you cheat, it's not gonna be anything.
I feel like if a man, yeah, like, but I feel like if a man cheated, I feel like friends, because y'all talking about the women's, right? But like now, in a man perspective, if they were to cheat, I feel like the friends would probably be like, "What the fuck?" Like turning him up. Like I don't know. I just feel like they would probably
As
applaud
long as the
him.
bitch is batter, it doesn't matter.
They're gonna be like,
basically.
"Who the?"
Fucking drop bars on us, dude. Jesus Christ.
That's the quote for the ages.
No, I want to ask ladies, do you do you know what hypergamy is really quick? Do you know what hypergamy is?
Actually.
No? I've talked about it on the show. Do you remember?
No.
No? Do you know what hypergamy is?
I've heard of it.
You know what this is? Hypergamy is that
hypergamy.
women like to date across and up social hierarchies. So, like a guy, he's a millionaire. He can date down to a McDonald's worker. Like the
Oh.
kings have always dated down to
Yeah.
peasants, and women have always been able to date up in that same form. So I wanted to ask. Do y'all think that hyper and well, I'll explain really quick why y'all are hypergamous. It goes back to the baby thing because if y'all would have had a baby like 5,000 years ago and you weren't hypergamous, you weren't looking for a provider and a protector, you and your baby were going to die. There was nothing that was going to keep y'all alive because of the
Poverty.
whole pregnancy and everything.
Poverty.
Yeah, like you were fucked, especially when we were fucking borderline living in jungles and shit.
Mm.
So like that's why hypergamy is such a big deal. And I don't get guys. Hypergamy is the best thing ever because it makes guys better men too. Like we have to always fight to be better to keep our girls wanting to be with us. Because if I sat there and wanted to be a bum all day, then my woman, her hypergamy could kick in at some point and be like, I want a better man. There's better options out here. I will go to someone better. You know. But I want to ask, do you think that men can use your hypergamy against you? So y'all want that protector and provider. Can a guy take advantage of the fact that you want that and use it against you?
Yeah.
How? Do you know a way like how he could use that against you?
I mean, I think it goes back to ego. Like that's where the value is lost in a high value man. And then you start looking for quality.
Okay. What do you think? How can the hypergamy be used against you? Your need for a provider.
That's when a guy says like, "Oh, you're nothing without me." So it's like, if you did that, then would you do it for the pussy?
I'll give you all a better example in a second. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah,
How can it be used against you?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Like, describe it more in depth.
Well, here I'll explain. It's kind of hard for y'all to understand it, so I'll
Yeah,
just
'cause I
explain
know.
what it is. So, like, the way that they use hypergamy against you is, say Say he has a new Corvette C8. Say he has the dopest penthouse in downtown. Say he is rocking all Gucci and it's not all credit. He actually is wearing it all because he bought it all. Or say he's a fucking loser and he actually uses credit card on $50,000 worth of Louis Vuitton and like he's just a fucking dork actually and he did the, like he wore all that stuff. If you see those things and you get turned on by it or you want to go home with him or there's something you're like you're getting more of a vibe from those things, he is using your hypergamy against you. He's trying to look like a provider to get you to like I have some guys who run amazing game. It's because they got a super nice car, they got a super nice spot, and they wear all the nice clothes, and yeah, it's super easy to get a girl that's really down for you because she wants a provider and she's like, oh, he has this car, he lives in this spot, he dresses like this, he must have money, and they can use it against you. Or even the chains, like every time you see a rapper wearing chains and stuff, those guys are using your hypergamy against you.
There are plenty of well-off, narcissistic and manipulative men that do that every day.
Yeah,
they find a bitch that they think needs help and they literally just milk that and treat her however they want to treat her.
I love her boy gang.
Just to, and then they'll provide her with things that they know she needs. So that's what keeps her there because she's getting these, monetary needs met or these, whatever it might be. Some people like clout, being seen riding around and whatever with whoever, like whatever she's getting out of that, he's exploiting that in order to keep her around. And there's plenty of people who do take advantage of that and will treat somebody like complete shit just because they can provide this type of lifestyle for them.
I guess some like do try to take advantage of it, but I feel like I really hope guys don't do that shit because that's fucking stupid. Like the thing is like if you do it correctly, you don't have to do any of that. Like you can, yeah, you could just be that guy. Yeah, you could just be that guy, and she'll be addicted to you without you having to do anything.
And get bitches, and just be living life.
I got say like it's a fucking say y'all meet say you can meet. I just had to make sure who's on the table for a second. Say like you meet your dream guy. He's whatever height you love. He makes whatever income you want. He's able to put you in a mansion, like literally give you everything you could ever fucking want. But before y'all get married, early in the relationship, whatever it is, he's like, I'm Muslim. I believe in having multiple wives. Like I want, like you can be my first one, but I'm going to have 2 or 3 more wives. Would you ever do the sister wife things? We're gonna say you're living like a fucking billionaire. He's a Saudi fucking oil billionaire. Would you do something like that?
If everything was up to par and I like legit was happy with
and he's giving all 3 of y'all women the same amount of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if everything is perfect, I might consider it. I'm not one that's really for like the polyamory type life.
Polygyny is what that would be.
Or polygyny.
Yeah, polygyny.
The polygynist life.
With the one man, multiple woman life.
But
sister wives.
But I understand it, so I'm not knocking it at all. Like I get it, and I think that it's awesome, especially if you have and can provide for all of your wives.
Yeah,
equally.
And like I would say, like so like I have a daughter too, and like a baby mama and stuff, and like it's just nothing against her boyfriend or like stepfathers because my father was a stepfather and my stepfather was an amazing stepfather, so nothing against guys that ever step up and do that, but like it's just dangerous because a lot of households where there is grape or where there is SA or anything bad that happens to children, sometimes it is those step parents, sometimes it is those things. So whenever say like a guy gets a girl pregnant and then they break up because he's going to another woman and but he still loves her because like we said, guys can sleep with another person and still love the first one. I just think it's healthier sometimes for the relationships and for the children to keep it's safer for the child to be with the actual father.
I think that's dangerous because the father can also be the one that grapes or essays, So.
I could tell you, I could tell you right now, I've looked at exactly what you said, like studies on exactly what you just said, and you're talking about one of the most rarest things in the fucking world. A father is like one of the least likely people. Like the fact that we don't want any other men around kids. Like I would say like steps or like any other people. It's like, I can't remember what the exact percentage is, but it was ridiculous. Like it was like an 800% higher chance if it's not the father. It
happens in the household often. Like
yeah, it's very
regardless
bad.
of whether it's father or not, like it's not necessarily, we don't want to pander to creating fear among parents who are single and searching
I'm just saying a father who has
for
blood in that
partners.
kid. I'm just saying though, the father who has blood in that child, like that is my child, that my blood is in, my DNA. You care way more about that child than somebody who there's none of their
Fresh.
DNA is in it.
It's
And
easier for a woman.
yeah, it's just about safety at the end of the day. And like the reason why throughout history there was a lot of times where there was like one man and multiple women was because it's safe. It's just safer for the kids. And it's smart. Like if you had sister wives and y'all were all working together and cooking and cleaning and shit, everything's easier. Y'all are all watching the kids together and shit. It's way easier.
Islam is now the
It's
fastest
the
growing
fastest growing religion in the world. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with it 100%. That's why I said I don't knock it. I
Yeah.
think that on a monetary in a monetary standpoint, and as far as like how the world is right now, it can be so much easier to have partners
With how the world's
in the
changing,
house,
for
yeah,
sure.
in the house to help you, and that includes being a mother, having somebody else who can help you cook and clean and stuff like that. Like 100%.
But
like
how
I said,
many
I'm
men
not-
can provide that life?
That's the thing.
That's where it is. Yeah, and I agree with you.
that's
There's
the
just
thing.
very few men,
Yeah.
super
You
small.
literally have to be able to provide a comfortable life for all of your partners
Yeah.
if you want to do that, and
Yeah.
everybody has to be happy.
Yeah.
It's not just about the man wanting multiple
Yeah,
wives.
it's
These
like-
wives
it's
need
like
to be
there's-
flourishing.
And there's like some guys that are workaholic, like CEOs of company that work 80 hours a week and they have like the bombshell girlfriend. And because he gives her no emotional time, like he thinks he could just buy this bimbo or something, she's going to, those are the women that like guys who are rich get cheated on the most, hands down, because those bitches
And
like,
they have less
yeah.
time.
And so like if a guy had 3 girls and he's also a multimillionaire and he's running business stuff, it would be a struggle. He would have to be a really good guy to be able to split time between them,
Absolutely.
you know, in a good enough way. So I don't think every guy
to
could
make
get away
everyone
with this.
feel special.
Yes, yes. And so there's definitely a special type of guy that can even do something like this. What about you, Sam? I know that you wouldn't like this, but like you could never do the sister wives thing?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Never.
No, not even if you're like a millionaire. Like, I just can't.
You're like, I can never.
I just picture myself, honestly. I always wanted to have like a beautiful, like structured family and like a loving,
The white picket fence, the normal
like
shit.
a loving. I mean, I get it, but like, and I also
we're all raised to want. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I definitely just see that for me.
That's more of a Disney fairy tale, ladies.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
it, and
Right.
I know.
That's why we
I'm
are where we are.
That's
baby.
why I'm where. That's why I'm literally waiting for like that unicorn that you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I mean, y'all know I bring this up a lot. I do the show because I know the saddest demographic of women is 45 and up single women, and it's just like I don't want y'all to end up in that bracket. That's the only reason why I do this shit, is because if I can save like a good chunk of women from becoming one of those in that little stat that I always bring up, that would be fucking.
Also,
dope.
competition anxiety is really good from a woman's end to the man's end.
Mm-hmm.
You are always going to seek his respect.
Yeah, and see, and that's something that women fear, though, and the reason why is because of their long-term mating strategy. Because their long-term mating strategy does tell them, "I need this secure beta cuck to make sure that he's going to provide and never run away from our kids." And it's
I expect respect. I'm not
it just
searching
su-
for
it
anything.
just sucks.
I expect you to respect me.
Well, like the thing is, like y'all can find there's trust me, honey, there's a million fucking simp beta cuck dudes out here that will respect the living fuck out of you. But do they fucking, are they overweight? Maybe. Are they 5'8"? Maybe. Do they make $40,000 a year? Maybe.
So
and that's
being
the negative.
attractive makes it okay for you to be disrespectful.
No, they just don't give you
No.
butterflies.
No,
They don't
no,
make your
yeah.
vagina tingle.
Yeah, what
I
I'm
feel
saying,
that.
what I'm saying is like if every girl just wanted a guy to respect them, there's a billion of them out here, and you could find one tomorrow. But the problem is that's not what you really want. You really want a guy that's gonna make your coochie wet, and he's gonna and he's gonna hit it right, you know. And because and that's what we always talk about, like the short-term main strategy, the long-term main strategy, because it's two completely different things. This one, you want the simp beta cuck dude that's never gonna run away. You can take advantage of him financially as much as physically possible, and he still loves you. This guy over here, though, damn, he hits it right. It's just two completely different things.
When a woman is
younger
in
age.
competition for a man's attention and resources, she is the happiest that she's ever going to be.
Yeah.
As soon as marriage begins, that's when a boring life starts, because it's very much routine and it does get boring. This is the reason why
unless he keeps her on her toes somehow with Dread Game or something.
Exactly. And this is the reason why the multiple wives works sometimes when a man can provide that lifestyle.
Because
when a man can provide that lifestyle.
They're all pining for him then.
Exactly.
At that point. Yes.
They all vent
towards each other about him. No,
Hey.
I mean, yeah,
Hey, for real,
it's
though.
a sisterhood.
No, I mean,
It literally,
yeah,
from what I've
it's
seen,
like-
I do, keep
That's
up with
funny.
stuff like that, and it is
Yeah.
a sisterhood. People, they enjoy being together, just like they enjoy being married to this man,
Does it make
and everybody's good,
They're
and
all
they're all
winning.
chilling,
They're all
and
happy.
yeah, everybody.
I get it,
There's
but
no
not-
financial issues because in some cases they do work, or at least a couple of them work, or whatever. Like it's just literally like what they like is what they like kind of thing, and they be just kind of doing
Yeah.
their thing. And I say, to more power to you. Like I said, I can't really say that I would be comfortable in that type of lifestyle, but I love seeing it because if it works for
It's
you,
entertaining,
if
right?
you like it, I love it.
Isn't it?
Okay?
It's entertaining as fuck to watch and hear about.
Yeah.
Bango Tango. Sergio can't say can't help the willing deviant. Man, bang Tango. You're right, bro. Like I'm gonna make a percentage
I
for
will
the show,
always be a
but at the end
deviant.
of the day, I am helping a lot, bro. You should. I know you see some of the episodes where I do help some of the women, so bro. I definitely help a
gotta
lot.
I'm
of
not
have
them.
faith,
listening
though.
to
You
Bang
gotta have
Tango
faith.
because he think he funny and he gonna get cussed out on this here.
$2, ladies. If you keep him empty, he won't. Oh yeah, we already read that one. Yeah. I had to ask you now. What was the question I had to ask them? I can't remember. It was oh, the sister wife thing.
Being
Would you do it?
comfortable with that.
Would you do the sister wives?
I'd have to be the alpha.
Of those
You'd
three,
have to
like,
be the
I
main
have,
one.
you gotta be
and,
the
and,
number
I,
one.
and no, I'm pretty
That's
sure
the
in
main.
those households there is one woman that
Yeah, there's
like
a
Oh,
main
yeah.
wife. I think there's usually like a main
There's, like, one
wife,
that's, like,
and
the
then-
main,
and then
right?
they,
Main
together
queen.
they choose
the other two.
the
Yes,
other-
yes.
yeah.
So you'd want to be like the first one then that like picks the other two.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like
Finding
Mm.
somebody
She
you
had-
vibe
she had to
with.
throw her
you
dick
know?
on the table a little bit, you know.
She got
I think that's how it
later.
works, though. Like the wife has to find somebody she vibes with, otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
needs
be
to
like
be your
toxic
friend.
for everybody. Yeah,
There was a funny video I shared like months ago, and it was a Muslim dude, and like he's like my girlfriend was complaining about not having enough time to spend with her friends. And he like showed her friends, and he was like, "So I married her friend too." And it's like, now y'all get to spend all your time together, right? And it's like, you happy now? Y'all get to
No,
spend
I'm
all your time
sorry.
together.
It cannot be my friends. Fuck no.
I
What
mean,
the
you'd
hell?
have to be friends to a
I
certain
mean, yeah,
extent
but like my
to
closest
be
friends.
living in a home.
Man,
I mean, if
you have a
love her
jealousy
already,
issue, man. You should be willing
Right,
to
if you
share.
already
If
love
you
this
really
woman-
loved your girlfriend, you'd be
What?
willing to share your man with your
and
girlfriend.
he's a billionaire. Like, this man's a billionaire. This is your best friend. You already spend hella time together.
Yeah, come on. Like,
All
what?
you have to do is fuck the same man together.
Look at Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot
Okay,
of
that's
videos
not the
like
Sharon's
same.
that.
Karen,
Yeah.
That's
you
not
know?
the same. That's
Yeah, like,
he's just out here fucking procreating with anybody who will let them nut in
Sharon
him.
is Karen, love. Sharon
He's
is
just
Karen.
out here just procreating with whoever will let him
But it
put
was
his
like
nut
that
in
back
them.
in the day.
And those
But
are very
I- no,
beautiful
it was-
women that he's procreating with.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he has bad taste.
Y'all want to know what the
Just
future
saying
is?
that
It's gonna
he's-
be
it
because
doesn't look good.
guys are so scared to get married now, and like we're in a post-marriage society. You're gonna see a lot more of that type of shit, where it's like, do you love me enough to want to have my babies? Okay, let's do it. Like, let's just have kids, because the whole marriage thing and all that stuff, it's just hard. And you understand, some women are so down for like, I had a kid without getting married. So, and there's a lot of guys that are going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to have their lineage go on, and they never had to put a ring on anybody. And so, because of that,
That's what it is. Lineage. They don't. That's
Now with
like,
the women, it has
I
to be
literally
like
have
morals
heard
and
that.
values, though.
well,
I mean, if men get away with it,
it's y'all's
yeah.
best strategy to lock the guy down with the ring, because you know that he's more likely to not leave you, and like he's going to be a good provider.
I don't know about
So
that.
it's yeah.
I
I mean, if he loses his job, that's just what happens. But what about you? Could you do the sister wives? Are you ever going to do something like that?
That would never make me happy. No, and what's like the we're saying, like, you, like, once you get married, it's like a death sentence, and you've got to keep her on her toes.
Yeah.
What
So
is-
like,
Everybody has to keep everybody
I'll
on their
explain to you why
toes.
though, because like, so
I'm not
say
even
like
well
we
aware
get
what
married.
the fuck
say-
all this is. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but like, say like we get married and like we get comfortable, like I don't go to the gym. We just sit, like, say we even have a kid, like, and we're both focusing on the baby, like we're both gaining weight because we're kind of like sitting at home more, and we're just watching the kid, we're eating more and stuff like that. We're just not caring. If y'all, like, you're gonna get to a point where you're not comfortable, and that man isn't, like, so your hormones completely change whenever you're on birth control and whenever you're in pregnancy. Like, you're a completely different person because you're pushing out way more hormones that make you a better person to like be a mother and stuff. But that's gonna go away after a little bit, and then you're gonna want things before. Like, when you get off when you're on birth control, you're tricking your body into thinking that you're pregnant. So when you do that, you actually are attracted to a whole different kind of man, a beta dude. Like, those are the type, like, there's stories of women where they got off birth control and they hated their boyfriends, and the reason why is because the hormones that you have when you think you're pregnant make you comfortable with those fat, lazy nerdy dudes. Whereas like when you get off of it though, or when you don't have those type of hormones coming through you anymore, you want like the sexy guy, like the alpha dude who's gonna lay it down and like give you the most pretty children and stuff. Like you go back to like these nature things, and if your guy is some bum at home because he's been at home sitting on his ass and he's been eating a lot and he's not doing anything, you start realizing, this guy's fucking annoying and he's fat and he's ugly. Like, I don't like this anymore. And next thing you know, you're like, he's ruining the relationship because he's just being lazy. So guys need to always stay at the gym. They need to always, like, you need to keep your girl on her toes. And that doesn't mean talking to girls all day or like going to do stuff, but going to the gym, keeping yourself looking nice. You know, like just keeping yourself in a state of mind where she knows that you're a prize and other women would want you, because women really respect and love a guy when they know that other women want them. If you think that you have a loser that nobody else wants, you fucking hate those guys.
If you feel like
after 2 or 3 years, you hate those guys.
If you
not
feel
right
like
up front,
you
but
have
you will.
to reiterate the fact that other women want you like she's fucking retarded every day that y'all are together, then
it's not reiterating.
You're not going to cultivate a very secure woman in that relationship
it's not
at all.
I'm just saying
That's
it's not
cute.
I'm trying to explain to you something. It's not reiterating it. Nobody is sitting there saying, "Hey, baby, I'm going to use Dread Game on you today and go do this."
Because you fine as fuck. You don't have to remind me.
But no. But
I like looking at you.
Women
That's why
don't want
here.
a man to cheat necessarily.
Yeah,
But when you
a
said
man
keep
that
on your
could.
toes, when you say keep on your toes, I'm thinking when you get married, you have to keep it like, keep it fun.
When you are both together,
But
you are
if you
both
feel
accountability
like
partners.
but if you feel like you have to like legitimately like let your spouse know that you have other options still,
that's see
weird.
you're like
It's
taking this way
unsaid.
too literal. Like you're taking this way too literal. Like Dread Game doesn't mean I go up to my girl and I say, "Hey, sweetheart, just so you know, I'm going to the gym today so I look really nice for other women." No, you're being
like
way
that.
too logical about it. The way that it works is he's just simply subliminally, I'm going to go to the gym and make myself look as nice as possible. I'm going to go and go do certain things where I'm around other beautiful women, and he's not going to these places to go and hit on these girls or do anything. It's just so like maybe you can even see that those women want him. Like it just makes him more attractive when you know you have a prize that other women want. And it's not,
but like
you're
you
not
said,
trying
men
to
don't
stress
like that.
Well, no. What do you mean? No, I want you to know that I'm a prize. I want you to think other women constantly want me.
In reverse.
Yes,
men don't like that.
Yeah, because we don't want a woman that every other guy is fucked or wants to be with.
Why do you think that your value isn't lowered by how many women
because
you
y'all's
fuck?
value is based off of how much you hold yourself back, like how much you secure your pussy and like your value, and like giving like a girl
Believe
who's
it or
all
not,
over the
a
internet.
man with no self-control is very unattractive to most women.
Oh,
a
yeah.
man who can't keep his dick out of everything is very unattractive.
Well,
We are not
you
talking about
say
sleeping
that, but
with
why does a
everything.
dude with 100 body count? Why is he more attractive than the dude with one or none? Like it doesn't.
It is a matter of, like you said, the ability to hold yourself back, the ability to respect yourself enough
Self-control.
to not enter into everything that you have the opportunity.
Who
to
is
enter
sex
into.
easier for,
Yeah.
men or women?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Huh?
Who is sex easier for, men or women?
I think that
Women.
It's a very simple question.
I think it's pretty easy for either.
Okay, what do you think?
Men.
What do you think?
Women.
Ladies,
We can get dick anywhere, yes,
Oh,
but
like,
men are
who-
gonna
who
fuck.
has it?
What's
Wait, who
easier to
has
get
it
sex?
easier?
Is it easier for men or is it easier for
But they're
women to
just
get
gonna
sex?
take
Here,
what
hold
they
on.
can
Hold on.
get.
Oh,
What?
women.
It's a-
ladies,
I
1 in
understood it
3
wrong.
men ages 18 to 30 are completely sexless right now. I said 1
There's
in 3
nothing
men.
wrong with being sexless for a little bit.
That is actually
considering
a
for men you get called an incel and you get called a bunch of negative things. It is bad for a guy to not get any sex, okay? And like you gotta understand, like anything that is easy isn't respected, okay? So the reason why nobody respects women that sleep around is because it's so fucking easy to do it. You can literally go outside right now, pop your ass up in the fucking air, and a guy would come stick his dick in you within an hour, probably.
Men
Seriously.
are
And,
men
like-
That's why
are
you don't see
very
a lot of
easy.
prostitution.
No.
with men.
Wait. What you gotta understand is that anything that's easy is not respected. But if it's hard for most men, fucking 90% of guys, 95% of guys, it's hard for them to get sex. So therefore, it's respected. Society is always gonna look at a guy with 100 body count and respect him more than the woman with 100 body count because it was easy. It's just like a football game or anything. If it's easy, nobody's gonna respect you.
I think
Promiscuity,
that that's only
promis-
looked up
promi-
on looked up like up to by specific types of men. If you
promiscuity
give
in
a
women
shit
has
about
always
that
been
type of
frowned
thing.
upon in
But, yeah.
every biblical text.
But I
in
was talking
every
to somebody.
text. Promiscuity with women has always been frowned upon.
Promiscuity in general, I feel like
I
has-
said with
it-
women, not
in
with
general,
men. And the Bible doesn't
is
say
frowned
that
upon.
that a man can't be
I'm-
with multiple women.
I don't co-sign
Can you
to
explain what that is,
biblical
please?
beliefs necessarily. So
Just in
that's not
general, it doesn't
really-
have to be just biblical beliefs.
And yeah, that's why I said whenever the question was whose value is diminished more whenever you cheat, the women's is, because we are looked at worse whenever we do things like that.
You get positive reinforcement from all the women around you, though. That's the difference.
I disagree.
No,
like I
women
said,
women will give, like, how many times does a woman cheat and then the women around her are going to sit there and be like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. He should have done this for you. He should have he should have spent more time with you. It's all his fault that you did that because your man was horrible. It's like, it's very rarely that
I don't
it's
know
like,
too many women that go around bragging about them cheating on their
well,
man.
obviously it's not bragging. It's when they get caught is whenever something happens, but they never get caught because it's like it's men and women cheat completely differently. If a guy cheats,
Definitely.
it's very hard for him to cheat because the girl wants more resource out of him. She's trying to get a dinner. She's trying to get all types of shit before he gets the smash. Whereas a girl, you can literally go after work for 15 minutes, get your pound town down, and then you're fucking out. Like, it's that simple for y'all. So it's two completely different things. And the guy that you went and fucked, he's not gonna go hit your boyfriend up and ruin it. The girl who the guy's fucking, she'll be like, I want to fuck his marriage. I want to fuck his relationship up so then I can have what she has. So it's two completely different things.
That
like,
just takes a vindictive person. Because
Yeah.
men will do that too.
You're the outlier, I guess. Ladies, question really quickly. What do you think about this? Because since 1965, that's when birth control came into the marketplace officially. Then we had the sexual revolution. Then we had Me Too and no means no and this and that. But check this out. It seems like women want the power of men, the privileges of women, the accountability of children, and the responsibility of infants. What do y'all think about that?
Do you disagree?
That doesn't even make any sense to me. And what the Me Too movement had to do with that question is beyond me as well. So I can you rephrase the question?
Well, me too, because
I said women want the power of men right now in the 21st century.
I don't desire.
Women want the power of men, the privileges of women,
in general,
the
most women do want that
accountability
power.
of children, and the responsibility of infants.
I'm gonna skip this one because I don't even agree with.
Meaning
the
that most
statement.
women do not have accountability in their life for their decision making.
I think that's a personal thing. If you're able to take accountability, whether you're male or female, you do so. It's not a male or female.
I gotta
thing.
just ask really quick though. Would you say that there's a certain sex, like men or women, that are more likely to take accountability for issues though? Would you say that, like, do you think that's equal? Do you think equally 50% of women take accountability and 50% of men? Like, do you think that that's equal?
No, that's why there's.
I think it depends on the person, not the sex of the person.
But I'm just saying, across the board in general, what do you think?
Percentage of people in the world
It's just a guess. That's just a guess. I just want to know what you guess.
I mean, I would hope that it's about 50-50, but I can't say that in general because I am not involved with everybody else's psyches.
Mhm.
But I mean, I would hope that people are holding themselves accountable, and I think that everyone is capable of doing so. It just depends on where you're at.
I got a really quick question then. The guy who you had your child with, were y'all in a relationship or did y'all just have a baby?
We just had a baby.
Okay, that's just like me and me on my being. That's funny.
Yeah.
But so like the last guy that you're in a relationship with, then not the guy who you had a kid with, but the last serious relationship you had that you were with, like, have you been with somebody for 2-3 years or anything like that?
Mhm.
And y'all lived together?
Mhm.
What did you do wrong in the relationship, and what did he do wrong for it to end?
Okay, so I think that a lot of it was it's kind of hard to keep a non-traditional type relationship going. I was the breadwinner in that situation. And I think it caused a lot of insecurity in him, so it made him really like unpleasant towards me, over time type thing. And
the income
You
thing.
talked about it.
and then it became physically abusive, and that's whenever I had to leave the relationship.
Yeah. So are you one of these people or one of these women that, like, would you get in another relationship with a guy and do the same thing again where you make more than him?
Because I've done it on multiple occasions, I would not do it anymore because it does always cause the same issue.
She learned her lesson,
Don't
guys.
do it.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to be that anymore just because it's natural for a man to be insecure about not being the head. Like, even if you treat him with respect and try to make him feel like a man, internally he doesn't feel like that because he's not providing.
Well, I would say that he's just not a real man. I'm sorry, like he should be able to like pull himself out by the bootstraps and somehow solve the problem. If he can't become as much of a provider than you, he should be able to do something.
I was an enabler as well at that time. I was younger and like
it's
I
usually
just wanted
that
to take
too.
care of my man.
It's usually that too.
Type of thing, and I learned my lesson.
where do you think that, like, I gotta ask because I've been looking at attachment style. I've been reading a lot of books about attachment styles lately and stuff like that. Where do you think that came from, that you wanted to take care of a man? Like you wanted to be an enabler like that. Like, where did that come from in your past, you think?
I think I've always had like a very maternal like instinct. Even before I had a kid, I was always like that person that kind of just wanted to take care of the people around me. And then also I do have very anxious attachment style, and so I like for the people that I love to stay.
Yeah.
And if that means that I have to, take care of them for that moment, then that's what it is. And it's obviously with the hopes that they'll be able to,
Get back
Re
get
re
get
re
it's not that I'm looking for
give it back.
something in return. It's just
Reciprocal though.
yeah, it's just that I want you to want to take care of me the way that I want to take care of you because I care about you.
Mm.
And so when I sometimes I can get you into situations where you're kind of just in a cycle of taking care of somebody who's not really capable and or willing to do the same.
Yeah,
for
if you enable them too much, they're not gonna do shit. I've never really asked this before, but I want to know what attachment style do you feel like you have?
Probably that's pretty hard. Maybe anxious.
Are you clingy?
Not to people.
We can be honest today, guys. We can say we're codependent if we are.
Not
it's okay.
to people.
Nobody's gonna judge y'all.
I have other things like my pets and like I still have my baby blanket.
Dude, my girlfriend still has her baby blanket
not
too. That's
people.
crazy. Yeah.
No, I didn't, Jay. I'm not a physical person. Thank you.
But yeah. So like, so would you say you're pretty clingy though? Is that your do you have an attachment style where you really like to take care of people like her, or are you the type where you run? Because there's like most attachment styles, it's usually either you're very clingy or you're very push away. You're very like, I don't want any. As soon as it starts feeling like emotional or like it's a loving thing, you're like, bye. Peace out. It's like it's usually like one of those two things. And usually it's based off of something you experienced as a child or through your own family. Which one do you think you are more of those two?
Not anxious. But I have not to like misuse the word boundaries, but like I just haven't found someone that is there yet. Yeah.
Well, you want him to come into your boundaries and what you want?
No.
You want to go into his boundaries and make sure his boundaries are like what you want though? Like y'all have
mean,
similar boundaries, y'all have similar like rules, I guess.
Not rules.
No, boundaries are rules.
But they're
boundaries
like
are rules.
for you. Like my boundary, like if it was like
your boundaries can be different from hers.
My boundaries are for me. They're not for the person that I'm talking to. Like that's just room for me to self-reflect. That's my identity.
So do you think you have walls up though?
Yeah, for sure.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Probably both.
Yeah,
probably both. I mean,
both.
there's reasons. I've done the same thing, like, like making more money. I like love language. I love giving gifts.
Yeah.
I would like spoil everybody if I could. Yeah. But at some point, like you realize that you're not receiving, and it took me a really long time to realize, like, what am I getting back and why is it important? Because I will just like give freely.
Julian,
it's for me.
Do you notice that like a lot of these women get into a cycle of where they like give to the wrong guys that don't?
Yes, they do. And that actually leads me to bring back the 1965 thing, because birth control completely relinquished women of making the wrong decisions with the wrong men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that means that you have the freedom to choose on your own, and then look what happens when you choose on your own. You end up,
because who used to help? Who used to help, Sergio?
Your fathers used to help you. Your men in your family used to help you, and they got kicked out of the house because it made more money for the government if they kicked the men out of the fucking house. So that's why they did it, guys. And then they gave women incentive to kick the men out of the house by giving them more money or giving them more goodies if they did it. Yeah.
I was literally talking to my mom about that the other day.
How there's incentive to break things apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, the government, everything with the nuclear family falling apart, there's all because the powers that be, the free market capitalism, the government, it all functions way better when they fuck us all up.
You got to play the system. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's going to fuck us up in like 10, 20 years. But honestly, y'all got to understand the way the free market works, dude, the more unhealthy the world is, the more money we make. What, like, dude, like the more people with cancer, the more people have to go to the hospital to get shit done to them, which then puts more money into the fucking system. Literally in free market capitalism, people getting hurt or people dying or people having diseases is a good thing. McDonald's giving people more heart disease is a good thing. That means more money for the medical system and the fucking food system. It's fucked up. I got to ask you, what's your attachment style, would you say?
Until I have trust, I will run.
You'll run? Yeah, that sucks, man. What do you think yours is?
My attachment style.
Yeah. Because it's usually like I said, most people today that are stuck single, it's either they have a attachment style where they cling really hard to people, or they're the type where they just run really quick.
But I would say that once I trust you, I want to just like
You
nurture
want to do the
you and
cling.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
necessarily
honestly, just like her, because right now I'm at a stage where honestly I'm just like, I really just I'm quick to run if I see something that I don't fucking
Red
fuck
flag,
with. Yeah, but if you give me like exactly what I'm
trust.
looking for, oh yeah, I'm like,
Ladies, who gives
Just
access
for
to
you.
sex?
who gives
Women.
access?
Yeah, who gives access to sex, men or women?
women,
Women, we definitely have to open up the legs. and
Who
let
gives
everything
access
happen.
to relationships?
men,
Men. Who gives you the ring?
men.
Men. Does that mean that y'all have to act right for the guy, or that the guy has to act right for you?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, I have to accept that in order for you to make me my wife either way. Your wife either way.
Ooh, I didn't think I was gonna do this, but I gotta do this really quick for her, guys, because she hasn't been on the show for the Who's the Prize. Who's the prize, ladies? Men or women?
We're both the prize.
Yeah, I think individually.
What do you
everybody
think?
The
is.
prize
Yeah, who's the
for
prize,
the
men or women?
relationship for the.
We're just gonna
for
say in
what?
general, who's the prize, men or women in a relationship? Yeah.
I've never really thought about that.
And we're gonna say on an emotional, spiritual, godly level, we're equal. We're saying on a physical, in the world, as value goes, even if it's just 51%, who 51 to 49, who is more?
the men.
The men?
I think on the last podcast you said men.
Okay. What do you think?
I think that without either side, neither would be fully complete. So it's definitely a 50-50 to me.
It's definitely 50-50. Okay. I'll explain to you why men are the prize. All right. So if we had an island and there was 100 men on this island
Yeah, that's
and another island with 100 women on it, the one with 100 men has one girl and the one with 100 women has one man. Which one is going to repopulate first in 10 years? The one with
It depends.
the one
the
with
one
all
with
the men
one
and-
man,
oh.
one man and 100 women, because he can get
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
100 of them pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whereas
if
if
his
it's
soldiers are marching in.
Huh?
If his soldiers are marching in.
Trust me, any guy can do it. We can all do that one. But if there's one thing I'm positive of, any guy could impregnate 100 women, especially in 10 years. But like so, in that case, who creates more life?
Without us, you won't create life.
No.
So
It's
not
a
about
very
y'all
simple.
creating
It's a
life.
very simple question. Who creates more life in a shorter period of time? Who creates more life? I understand that you
Man.
can
Us,
create life.
because y'all don't
No,
create
man.
life.
No,
We
in a
do.
shorter period of time, who created more life?
It takes 9 months
Who's
for
the
us.
guy who had the most kids in the world?
Oh, I don't know about that.
He had 888.
That's a lot of fucking kids.
Well, the woman with the most kids. Well, how many do you think she had?
Mhm.
69.
Oh.
Okay,
Men,
so
because
like,
they can
so
just
so
easily-
men create more life. Look at Genghis Khan. Look at there's certain people throughout history that made a
It takes a
stupid
toll
amount of
on
life.
our bodies.
Huh?
We can't.
I know. I'm
Create
not.
that many kids if we
Nobody's
wanted to.
expecting you to do anything. I'm just. It's a simple example to show you that in this category, like category one, I get point number one. I win. Men are the prize. We create more life. Okay, in a short period of time. Now, once again, the relationship thing. Who's the gatekeeper of sex? Women. Who's the gatekeeper of relationship? Men. Who puts the ring on your finger? The man does. So you have to act right to get the ring. Like you have to be a wifey. You have to put off some type of traits to a good. I'm not saying there's losers out here that will probably get married to you, but we're saying like the guys that are that guy, you're fighting to get the ring. You're gonna have to act a certain way as a woman to get it. So in that category, once again, I get 2 points. We win. Guys are the prize. If we look at society and we look at what is needed in society, okay, like there's masculinity and there's femininity. What's there a lot of women being today? Masculine, because in sales, in business, in everything that we do across the world, that takes type A personalities. It takes masculinity to do those things. If there's such a lack of masculinity in men that women are having to step up. There's nothing like that on the opposite. There's not men stepping up to be feminine because there's a lack of femininity. It's not the same. We need masculinity in society, especially in free market. So once again, we're the prize in that too. 3 points for me. For the last one, okay.
I don't know if I fully agree, but I'll
For-
give you those points.
Yeah. So
You've unfortunately had
so-
very shitty examples for men in your life so
Yeah.
far, and
Yeah.
that's just straight up up truth. It's coming out of your vocabulary and everything, and the way that you're coming across.
I've
Like you
seen
just had
good men.
no, you've had too many
I've seen
shitty
good men,
examples.
but I do feel like women's value is very much undermined by men who think that they are fully the
It's not.
prize.
So here's the thing.
and
like
we
no,
do a lot
I'm
for men.
let me just
in
explain
general.
like the really last one.
That's just the thing.
Let me explain just the last one real quick. Okay, is
We
there more
complement each
beautiful?
other.
Is there more beautiful women or high value men?
Probably beautiful women.
Yeah, so because of supply and demand, and most women are chasing these guys, like that's what we have to bring up on. I guarantee you, the guys that you go and have, situationships with and stuff, I know they're not ugly. I know they're not fucking
Right.
losers or stupid. I mean, they might be losers financially, but I know they're not ugly. You know what I'm saying? So
usually not
because
financially
what do
losers,
women like to do? Y'all like to go up to these type of guys. They're the prize. You keep fucking these guys that are prizes, but you don't ever accept that they're a prize. And this happens all the time today, and it's an ego issue. All these women have this crazy ego thinking, oh, I fucked a 10, so I must be a 10. I'm not going to settle for any guy who wants to get married unless he looks like that Chad that fucked me a couple weeks ago.
I think it's
So-
about seeing the value in somebody in general. I'm
Well,
not saying it like that.
But
I'm saying
so like I'm gonna bring it back to like what you said, how you're saying like guys don't like value women. It's not that at all. I actually know a woman's value so fucking well that I got a beautiful one at my house, and she provides perfect value to my life, and I'm so thankful for it.
I love
Like
that for
trust
you.
me, it's complimentary. Like
I love that you can say that out loud.
well,
Oh,
trust
yeah,
me,
he
I
always
teach a lot of
preaches his
men.
girl.
I
love it.
preach it to a lot of men, and like you got to understand, like it's complementaryism
Yeah.
is what it is. So like I may be the best at making money, but she's the best at doing other shit, like
Yeah,
cooking or
that's
whatever
my
the fuck.
point.
And that's fine. Like but you
So
understand
to say
only
either
one
is
person.
the prize over the other is kind of
Well,
weird to me.
It's because one person, like y'all, at
it
the end
makes
of the day,
the other
you want a
person
guy.
less valuable.
No, see, this is the problem is because you're perceiving it that way. But at the end of the day, you want a guy that's taller than you, faster than you, stronger than you. You want a leader. You don't want a fucking loser. You want a
Yeah,
leader.
naturally.
So because you want a leader, only one person can drive the car. And 9 times out of
Right.
10, like you're talking about how like you still respected the man even though he made less than you and stuff like that. You might be an exception, but most women get in relationships with guys who make less or whatever it is. And he wants to be the 51%. Only one person can drive the car sometimes. And she doesn't let him. She's like, you're a broke loser. You didn't even pay the rent. Like, you didn't even do this. Like, why the fuck? So when that disrespect happens, it fucks up the whole household.
Yeah.
But that happens all the time today. There's all these
I
cycles.
agree.
Women are out earning men in most major cities. Women graduate at 60% to 40% in college. Like, there's no pay gap anymore. That shit's fucking gone. So like women are at this better spot, and you're saying, you still respect your guy. I would argue you might be exception to the rule, but most women in that spot, they're treating that guy like shit, bro.
I know women who do it. So I'm not saying that's not a thing.
It's normal,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's women who will go after guys because they're like they want to walk on them. Like
Yeah.
that's that.
I
that's the
just
thing, when
want
they
you
have
to
that
know,
dominant personality.
like the guy that you're gonna pine for the most, the guy you're gonna love the most, I'm sorry, he's the prize. And like there's nothing wrong with you being like, I'm going to pursue it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make this guy fucking happy, because he's the fucking prize, and he's gonna give you if he's that guy. Like obviously don't do it for a loser,
Right.
but if he's that guy and he's a really good man, he's gonna take care of you and provide for you and take care of your daughter and all this stuff, fuck, he's the prize, man. Who gives a fuck? Put your ego down and say, fuck it, you're the prize, baby.
Yeah, we both won. Though.
Well, no, trust me.
Yeah,
like
we both won because now I have a man that is supportive and taking care of me.
I just want you to know,
you
those guys at the top, they're not ever having trouble finding options, though. It's the women are. Like, the reason why this show is here is because I know there's a bunch of women that are going to be fucked. Don't get me wrong. I know men are going to be fucked too, but I have a whole theory behind if I save the women, I save the men at the same time. What happens to Tyrone and Chad and Edgar if y'all stopped sleeping around? Say all women tomorrow just cut their pussies off and said, we're not fucking having recreational sex anymore. What happens to Edgar, Chad, and fucking Tyrone? What happens?
Oh,
What does he have to do?
blue ball him.
What does he have to do, huh? What do these guys got to do that got pussy so easily from their mom's couch? What do they have to do now, huh? They got to try, right? Don't they got to become
probably,
men
yeah.
and go get a real job and shit if they ever want to get pussy and their lineage go
Either
on?
that or they're just gonna lose their minds. And
Yeah.
end up in jail or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if I can convince y'all to stop sleeping around, I in turn make the men better men, because then they have to work harder to be able to get the pussy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if I want men to be better men, I got to make y'all better women.
Because it's also on our side, us
starts
having
with the women.
to hold accountability and say we can't keep giving everything to nothing for nothing, because we accept what we're given.
Oh man,
And that's why
those Jewish bastards figured it out a long time ago in the Torah, bro. You literally just check out like Genesis. You just check out like the story of Adam and Eve. It's
not
that
Jewish
simple, bro.
bastards.
No, for real. Like, it's very simple, man. You just simply, if the woman if she eats from the tree of knowledge, if she tries those new things, if you go and experience these crazy things, then we both fall. I will fall too, because if you fall, then I'm falling behind you. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. So if y'all give it up, we're all fucked. Men and women are fucked. That's why Eve ate the apple. That's why she's the one that can't fall to temptation. That's why she can't eat from the tree of knowledge first. It's not the same the other way around. That's why she did all of that. And that, the whole point of that story is,
And she blamed him.
yeah,
Neither of them were supposed to eat from the tree.
Well, it's his fault, because if he was a man, Adam was supposed to be a masculine man and stand up and say, "Bitch, don't eat that fucking apple." But he didn't do that, and look what happened. He would, and that's
I don't think
why
he was there when she ate the apple, right?
No, he was.
And
He
then,
was.
and then she offered it to him after she ate it, right?
Yeah, but the bottom line is that he should have been
Did he
there to be
see
like,
it?
"Bitch, you should
Yeah.
not be doing." He's supposed to tell her what to do. We're supposed to be leaders. It's supposed to be God,
No
man,
way.
woman, and we're supposed to tell the women what to do. Like I was telling y'all earlier, you don't know what you fucking want. You need a man to tell you what you need. You need that. And that, it all goes back to that story I'm telling you. And like, as soon as people start realizing that that's like the true like cycle of life, everything's gonna be
The
good
first
again.
sin of man
The
was
first sin of
Adam listening to Eve.
Yes, he should have never fucking listened to her. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I want to ask just really quick, ladies. Did you like the show? Did anything resonate with you? And would you come back?
Yeah, I enjoyed the panel. I enjoyed you guys, and I'd come back.
I'm so happy. Yeah, no, you're a lot of fun. What about you?
Yes, I'm always trying to come back, but
Yeah, she busy, guys. She be working all the fucking time. Yeah. And if y'all ever need an Airbnb, hit her up.
Yes, in
Period.
Dallas.
Here in
Yes,
Dallas.
sir.
What about you? Did you like the show? Did anything resonate? Would you come back?
Yeah, I like the show and I would come back. I don't know what does resonate mean.
Like
Resonate. Did anything like was there any like fact? I asked that because I like to know if there's a specific factor like quote or stat that I should repeat, so then girls always learn that one because it's the best one or something.
That fantasy thing, Disney, gotta get that out of the mind.
Yeah.
Get that out of the
It's for
mind.
men and women too. There's a lot of simp dudes that sit there and fucking simp hard as fuck for some
They want
women.
to save
And
the,
yeah,
the
yeah, they
prince,
wanna-
the
yeah.
damsel in distress.
And it's like, she's not a princess, bro. She's
Yeah.
fucking talking to 10 other dudes and she's finessing you. Like, you need to chill the fuck out. And it's the same for the women too. Like, he's not gonna be your Prince Charming. He's really hot. He got them abs, but he's not gonna take you seriously, baby girl. Like, you're a fucking 6 and he's a 10. I'm
We're
sorry.
a
Yeah.
sucker for a cute face.
Yeah, no, y'all are for real.
We really
Wo-
are.
Women fall in love with their ears, men fall in love with their eyes. That's why women wear makeup and men lie. Okay. Yeah. What about you? What did you think? Would anything resonate this time, or would you come back?
Good show. I feel like it was really good this time.
Yeah, we had 4. I'd like 4 people. It's the
I-
best number.
I think you're right. I do want a man that knows what I need.
Yeah.
Tell me what I want.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's something
Yes,
that
no, for sure.
it's just it's just society and feminism that told y'all that like y'all are super smart and you can make all your own decisions and like you can be a boss babe and run your own shit, and it's like, yeah, you can do all that, but will it make you the most happy?
I think we all
We can
crave
debate
that connection and that
Motherly.
partnership.
And it's a yin yang. Like the reason why he's the leader is because like it's a lead sub. It's just like dominatrix, you know, and subs.
It's
Like there's
exhausting.
but life is always a yin and yang. Like what's life a roller? Like are you always happy? No, you're happy and then sad and you're up. Dude, y'all think relationships and people are any different? You think
Right.
that we're not going to have opposites and positives and negatives and shit? Dude,
Right.
this is life. Everything is like this.
Yeah.
So in the second you realize, oh, I'm mad because he didn't do this, and then you're like, wait, am I projecting what I like? Am I projecting what I like to feel?
Mhm.
Anytime y'all have an issue with a guy in the future, think about it and be like, am I understanding him as a man, or am I just understanding myself and what I think?
Right.
And then if y'all ever have questions, please hit me up. I'm y'all's guy. Like I do this show because I'm the guy that y'all can hit up. That I'm not trying to fuck y'all. I do this show. I yell at this table. I do all this shit because I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm like a father, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, and I want to help y'all discern because y'all don't have help discerning today. So if y'all ever need help with anything, I'd love for y'all to come back. If you ever need help with a guy or anything like that, please text me. I like the girls that come on the show are the only ones that get free access to the mentorship. So please just let me know if y'all ever need help with anything. I'm always gonna hook y'all up. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for helping out tonight, Mike and Julian. Man, we had awesome production in the back. Hopefully we'll have Donnie back or Friday. Friday we have Ramar actually doing production, and tomorrow, guys, everybody, please come and support tomorrow. I'm gonna be on Valuetainment. I'm gonna post it across everything so y'all can fill the chat. I don't want the chat fucking destroying me on their channel, so I want all of y'all to come through, support as much as y'all can, so I don't fucking get destroyed by their 1,000 people that are gonna be watching. Please, guys, show up to that. That's it, really, though. I really can't wait to see y'all on Friday. Hopefully, it's going to be a really fun show because I'm going to be so excited about the Thursday shit. But yeah, I will hopefully see all y'all tomorrow night, Thursday. Valuetainment, Money. Everybody go check it out. Go ahead and go subscribe to their channel so y'all can be ready to see it. But yeah, peace the fuck out. Thank you, ladies. Bye.